All right, welcome to the show. Who have we got? Phoenix Fire. Hi, thank you for that video you shared today. Hi, Nina. Good to see you. I was live last night on my other channel talking about this and what's going on in Gaza. Yeah, come on. You should come on by and tell us what you've learned. Happy Friday the 13th, Jihadi Day. What else have we got here? Scotty boy, how you doing? Good to see you. Trey, how you doing? Let's see. That's about it. Oh, there's Chloe. Good to see you, huh? And Scotty boy chatting it up. God is great, Scotty boy. I agree. Great show last night, Nina. A lot of good info. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting situation they've set up there. They've managed to. We can't call them false flags really anymore. That term's kind of been debunked. I would call it more like just a staged event, really. That's what I would call it, just a staged event, I say. Hi, Dolly. Because they staged this. This has got the weaponry left behind by Biden, money paid for hostages to Iran. It's got the allowed buildup in the Gaza Strip there, in Palestine. What did I miss last night? Oh, Nina the Mystic did a show talking about this. Non-religious truth channel. Okay. That's an interesting one. Can you show your face for me so I know who you are? I won't make you do it live on the screen there. But I'm not familiar with the name. So if you could just click your camera open so I can take a peek at you. And then you can close it off. And I'll put you up in chat and we can talk. I think we've been through this with you before. I have somebody up here, guys, who won't show themselves. They're called the Non-Religious Truth Channel. I don't know if that's any of you guys. I don't think so. So. Okay. Yeah, they're even fighting about it here, Trey. They've had clashes between Israeli and Palestinian families here in Canada. So now the fight is being brought here. And we have, not us. I know Nina. Oh, that is Nina? Okay. Hello, Nina.
Hey. Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you before.
Okay.
Yeah, I always ask people to show me their image. I didn't know that was you. So
yeah, it's me. This was all a new setup, and I didn't have all the stuff already in place.
Yeah.
And, the way my downloads are now, they're not showing me the picture, so I don't know what they are, and I have a heck of a time trying to find a photo and trying to upload all that stuff.
No problem. Scotty boy told me it was you, so.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was talking, but you couldn't hear me, so.
Yeah, that's weird. It's a different program. This is it was a Restream instead of StreamYard.
Okay.
My audio was having trouble with StreamYard, so I had to switch programs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I just went live last night, actually. Like, I just put the link in there last night on my other channel.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that.
And I didn't get a strike, but they put a thing on there because it contains some graphic material. So it's not for kids. So I don't know exactly what that means as far as the visibility, but
yeah, apparently having it for kids is not going to help you with your visibility. So if you have it for kids, you can take it off of that, and your visibility should go up.
They went and put it so that it's not for kids, so that it's not shown to children. But I don't want that to be shown to children anyways. I mean,
no, of course not. I have all of mine are for adults only. So.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
I normally just leave that part of it because I've heard if you do, you're just sabotaging your stream if you do.
Yeah, I've heard both ways. I don't know. You're probably shadow banned anyway.
I'm already shadow banned.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how much difference is it going to make?
But I don't know if you guys are on my Gilded, because that's where I post everything, both from my non-truth channel and the Mystic channel.
If you have those, Scotty boy, do you have those? Can you post them?
I can probably find that for you.
Hi, you tell me. Good to see you. So the Jihadi Day, I haven't heard much about it.
I was going to say
there was a double stabbing in France.
There was?
The only thing. Yeah, that's the only thing I've heard about so far. But they just called it a few days ago, right? So called for it a day or two ago. So it'll take a little while for them to ramp up and get their pipe bombs and their weapons together. Hopefully not much will come of it, but you never know. A little bit has so far. Hi, Manel. Good to see you. Everyone say hi to Manel. She's got a great channel too. Hook yourselves up. Let me see if Manel
There's my Gilded. I posted it into your chat there. Yeah, join up there. I got booted off of Discord. So that's another platform that's heavily shadow banned or heavily...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so don't even bother doing a Discord. You're just going to end up getting in trouble. So I
never liked Discord anyway, so...
Okay, well, Gilded is actually almost identical as far as the experience.
Yeah.
But it's less censored, apparently. And that's what I've heard. So far, so good, until they get bought out, I guess. But so far, so good on Gilded. And that's kind of where I'm at, where I can post things and stuff. So if you guys want to be in the know, join up on there. And then subscribe to my non-religious truth channel there, because you never know when I'll go live. So what I did yesterday, I don't know if you remember Max Egan.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still going strong, of course, but he's on Odyssey and whatnot. He had a really good
I'm stuck to him on Odyssey.
Yeah, he had a couple of good videos.
Okay, I didn't watch that one the other day.
Yeah, he had one on Sunday that I was going to originally do, and then all of a sudden his latest came out yesterday, like an hour before I went live, and I'm like, no, I better do this one. So that's what I did. I basically showed his latest, because he also used to live down there. So he has knowledge of, he's spoken to the people, like he's a lot more closer to it than the rest of us. So, yeah. So what's happening, I mean, basically Palestine is being gaslit. They have been this whole time.
Mm.
Oh,
yeah. They let those weapons in there. There's no two ways about it. They couldn't have amassed that many weapons without Israel knowing about it.
Oh no! You see in the beginning of Max's video, you'll see some clips of other videos from people who were there, and they said, "Yeah, I mean, go and watch that. It's a brilliant video. Whether you watched it on my channel or you go and watch it on his channel."
Well, go ahead and explain it, because many of us won't. So you're not spoiling anything.
Yeah, I have a hard time remembering everything, right? There's so much information bombarded at you, right? It's overwhelming almost.
Yeah. Well, you look at Hamas. Hamas, I've heard, was started by the Israelis themselves and funded in the beginning by the Israelis. So there's some to check into.
Well, yeah. Well, they're already admitting to that Hamas is the same as ISIS.
Yeah.
We know that was funded by the Americans. And so the whole thing, they kind of let the cat out of the bag, to be honest. They're having a hard time trying to keep it all in check now,
Yeah, apparently I've heard rumors that half of the Israelis are highly suspect of what's going on. That they're not really going for it either.
They're being lied to as well. That's right. The people are being
Yeah,
lied to, right? Yeah, it's not the people
yeah,
themselves, it's the people in charge, unfortunately, that are just, and they don't care that a few hundred people die. It's just part of the cause for them. So now, to be honest, like when you go and look at all the footage, though, there's not a single footage of any babies, especially babies with no heads, like they're claiming had happened there. All you're
yeah,
seeing from that concert is people running away. You don't actually see anything. And so the video that I did last night, you can see it, and the
that's
people
it.
explain it to you and show you evidence of it and all that kind of stuff. Like, so there's actually no actual footage of anything happening there. So we got to
Yeah,
question that too. Like the whole thing is just it's just a big scare tactic, right? And it's right at the
ye-
same time as the 50th anniversary of the thing that they did there back in 48 or whatever year that was, to the day almost. So it's just like, yeah, okay.
yeah. It's there is so much wrong with this. I have an interesting clip here.
Okay.
Um, let's see if I've got it lined up right. Might take me a minute to get it lined up right. But, oh, come on. Okay. I'm going to have to retry that.
Oh
Okay.
no. Is that your footage or somebody else's?
No, it was somebody else's. It's footage of Yasser Arafat.
Oh,
Um, I'll just give the explanation of it. Yasser Arafat, they're saying that basically we have to turn the Palestinians into the aggressors in order to get rid of them. That's the basics of it. Is that he had already had plans to allow or somehow get uh, the Palestinians to be looked at in the world's eye as the aggressors. Um, and he's getting his wish right now. And they're trying to use of course, you know, they started off, I heard, they chopped off 40 babies' heads. Then it was, well, they chopped off a few babies' heads, but, they chopped off babies' heads. Now it's, well, there were some people that got bombed and maybe there were some babies and maybe they lost their heads. It's,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
So
you know,
it's kind of funny because the reporters who reported it, right? They're like, "Oh yeah, I heard this, that, and the other thing," and then they come later and say, "Yeah, well, actually, I didn't see any of that. I just heard it. Somebody told me." And that's
yeah,
the thing, right? So nobody's seen it. There's no video or photo evidence of any of that happening.
yep.
Now, do I doubt that they will kill babies and stuff? I wouldn't put it past them at all. But did it actually happen? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, there was something about child abuse being shown. Hey, Seven Serpents. Um, and hi, beloved. And anybody else that came in, if I missed you. Um, there was rumors of, this was kind of a funny one. Jamie Lee Curtis put up apparently a image of a child getting abused. And apparently she was claiming it was an Israeli child, but it was, again, the other side of the story, apparently. So she had to take that down real quick. Hi, Mrs. Seven. Uh, just kind of a funny story about how they run with stuff before even checking, right?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, there's a footage of these kids inside a cage. Well, apparently that was taken 4 years ago. That was
oh,
not taken.
was that the Obama cages?
That could be, but it was something from 4 years ago. And Max Egan, he's got all the evidence, and that's why I recommend to either watch his video or mine, because you get to
Yeah,
see all the evidence of what we're talking about here. But yeah, that footage was taken like 4 years ago, and when you start looking at the body language of the children and the way that
Mm-hmm.
that guy's laughing and everything. It totally looks like it's just dad putting these kids in there and taking some photos, and they're having a great old time. The kids don't look scared, you know. They was just told to do that. Like
Yeah.
you can tell that that's not real. I was just, I don't know what exactly that was all about, but the guy's just laughing his head off, like, "Oh, look at my kids are on there, and isn't that funny? Isn't that, like that kind of thing, But they'll run with that and put it somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I was looking. There's a lady. She does headlines with a voice. Now it's Lockhart Perspective. She changed the name of it. She was going back in the history. I was catching a little bit of her on the way here. And the Rothschilds had started buying land in Palestine back in 1924, and had been moving people from Palestine or from other countries to Palestine since then, building community centers and things like that for them, so that they could preempt the Jewish state. So this was long in the works, prehistory, by Western hegemony, and all of the usual characters really are involved, all the way up to the royals. They're the ones that keep all the money flowing when things dry up. So yeah, they've been doing this. This has been an ongoing thing for almost 100 years, really. 80 years, or almost 100, really.
it's
80,
been going
90
on for a
years.
while. Yeah,
Yeah,
isn't it 1948 that Israel became a nation or something like that? They basically bullied their way in there.
it was
Yeah.
49. Yeah, and that was under the UN, I think, or NATO.
Mm,
Just declared that Israeli land, and the Palestinians said no,
mhm.
and they said, "Oh well, we're doing it anyway."
Yeah.
So, you know, they'd
Mhm.
already bought land there too, so they were already pretty much settlers there. They just started telling them that they were taking more.
Yeah, it was like a long plan because you look back in 1948, it was mostly just Palestinians. If you look at today, there's very few. It's all been taken over. So it was like a
Oh
long
yeah,
haul plan that they
Y-
had. Yeah.
yeah, that's the settlements. You just move into a place. You just take your bulldozers, and the because the army will go along with you. So you just take your bulldozers and your flame. You tell people, we're gonna bulldoze your house or set it on fire. Get out, or you're done. You
Mhm.
know, and yeah, and then of course the Palestinians try to fight back and gain some land back. I guess I don't know what exactly they're doing. Their tactics don't seem to be working at all. So they just keep losing more land. It's uh
Yeah, they
it's a
probably
stupid
don't have.
situation set up by people outside of
Yeah.
the situation.
Mhm. Mhm.
Set up again
Yeah,
by
well,
the
they're being
Rockefellers.
yeah, well, they're being gaslit so bad that the rest of the world thinks that, oh, we stand with Israel. US has been very clear about that, who they stand with, and um so the rest of the world are probably not helping them because they think that, oh, they must be the bad guys. They're being kind of a shadow banned, from the rest of the world. And so they probably have very little resources to work with and not getting any support from the rest of the world. And basically just been taken over.
Yeah,
Gaslit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep, yep. Yeah, they don't have any much industry. They don't have enough land to do much farming or of any sort. They're basically like 25 large cities, and that's it. There's 6 million people squished into a really small area.
Hmm.
So hi, the realist. But yeah, it's a total setup situation. This was entirely contrived. Um, the war in Ukraine is ramping down. Poland pulled out, so that money's gone and that support. Um, so they're going to pour all their money into this, and further along the old military industrial complex, because it's gone full steam ahead. And if they can take us to war, that would be a good thing. I heard you guys are looking at now. Um, there's a possibility of enlistment in the U.S. There's apparently an enlistment app you guys can check out if you want. If
I
that's
have
your
heard rumors that the draft might come back in. If we go into war, yeah, be prepared to get the notice. You
yeah.
know, and I don't know if we're any safer here in Canada.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it would be a good plan really to go to war. It would stop the election.
Well,
Um,
I think that's the whole plan, right? Something is
well,
going to be happening so that election doesn't happen. We
yeah,
all
there
know
there
that.
may be a lot happening a lot quicker than we think. We're under weather wars right now, where you guys are in the States. It'll reach up to Canada, but the
I'm in
problem
BC, by the way.
the problem with going to war is the conscription and
Hmm.
taking the young people uh, across
Hmm.
seas or wherever. That leaves how many million? 3 or 4 million military age illegal immigrants trained, many of them trained militia, working for the UN and other countries here to destabilize our countries. And all the fighting age men will be gone.
Yeah, so this has already happened. With all the migration, right? They've
Yeah,
already, and actually the video that we did last night, it goes over that as well.
yeah,
That was part of the plan, is to get all these immigrants in here. There's a lot of different agendas with that, but yeah, they're all, young males. They don't come with their families. They're all just, fighting age males, and they're coming in here with a hate on already for our society. They're coming here, yeah, with the hopes of a better life, but inside they hate us. They hate the West. They've been groomed that way. And
well,
so
like,
when the shit
yeah,
happens, right? When the shit happens, they're here, and they're the ones that are going to be rioting. And this is what we were worried about today. And today's not over yet. It's only 5:30 here on the West
yeah.
Coast. That basically with that announcement, it was basically waking up sleeper
Hi, the
cells.
realist. Yeah,
And a lot of these people are, and all they need is just give me the word, and I'll freaking get out there, right? And and do whatever, right? And so that's what's so scary. We just let them in here. We're giving them tons of money, free housing, whatever they want, living like kings. I hear they got like 4-star hotel rooms, and
yeah.
you know,
Many of them are just saving up their money because they know they're here to do a job.
that's right.
They're gonna
Yeah.
take their money and go back and live like kings.
That's right. Oh yeah,
So
they're not planning on staying here.
yeah,
Yeah, they're gonna be working for that money
yeah,
eventually. But
yeah,
yeah, no, that's the thing. America's, especially America, but also Canada,
yep.
because I know Trudeau has done the same thing, taking in all of these, same thing, doing the same thing, and
Doing the
so that
exact same things. Yeah.
we're being
It's
taken over from the inside. They're already
hmm
here. They're not coming here to do anything. They're already here. They already have a hate on for us. They're just waiting for the word to go ahead. And I know that on the island here, there's
no,
a
I'm not.
whole bunch of Chinese military training, has been for years. Again, China's not coming here. China is already here. They're just waiting for the word.
Yeah,
You know,
they're building
and
all
that's
these 30-story apartment buildings in my city too
where
to
they
house. Yeah,
to house
the
all
only
these people.
well,
Yeah.
they'll be the only people that can afford it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and that'll be like a training center, and they can fan
Right.
out from there, base command. Um, yeah, it's pretty well set up. Unless we call this out and get these people deported and stuff, which is on the block for you guys. You've got people talking about that in your Congress. We don't have anything like that happening in Canada. Um, I wish we did, but yeah, they're even here in Canada. I was going to say, I've seen police officers that do look like I know they are South American. I don't know if they're new immigrants or not, but I would hazard to guess, that they might be. So they're already probably in my police force and your police force already.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because, well, not funny. It's not funny, but we just had Thanksgiving here in Canada, and so of course I was at my brother's place having dinner, and he was telling me a story. Yeah, he's got a co-worker there who's all for this. was all excited about, oh, go and kill them and all this. And like, he was shocked, like, 'cause he just thought it was just a regular coworker. But there you go. They're all over the place, guys. If they're from those countries, they're coming with their values and their beliefs and all that stuff. They might not talk about it all the time, but they sure do when the shit hits it comes out, and they still, even though they've been here for years and years and years, they still are all for all of this, and this is what's so scary,
Yeah.
and they're so passionate about it that they're willing to give their own lives. They don't care about strapping on a suicide bomber vest and just, or something like that, or knowing that they're going to also go. They don't care.
It's not really the South Americans that do that, though. It's
No,
more
maybe not. No, it's more the Middle East. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more the Middle East. They've activated them, so that might be one bunch that we can get out of the way and see how many we've got. Which is horrible to say because they're going to, if they do anything, they're going to cause death. But yeah, I don't know. We're in a tough spot right now, unless people wake up and get to the reality of what's going on and make some changes. We're pretty pooched.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's already started, and we kind of almost just got to watch it unfold now. There's not much we can do, I think, to stop it.
Well, if the military refuses to go, if people refuse to participate in the war, and just stick to defense of the country, that would stop it. If they don't
I
have
remember seeing footage from the military 3 years ago or 2 years ago, whenever it was, that they were forced to take that medicine, injected into their arm, and they didn't
Yep.
want. Most of them didn't want it, and I saw them in lineups. People, they were trying to skip the lineup. They were trying to pretend to faint. They were trying to do all kinds of things to not to have it. But no, they had to have it. They were literally forced.
Yeah.
Literally shoved
Well,
it
how
in their
many
arm.
of them have woken up in the past 3 years?
That's that's one good thing that's come out of this, is a lot of people are woken up now.
Yeah, that is happening on a pretty mass scale at the moment. Public opinion of things like
Mhm.
Bill Gates have
Mhm.
totally switched from 70 to 80% approval to 20 to even less percent approval of him. So, and he's basically the poster boy behind most of this. So that is very impressive as a change, and that's only over the past few years. That because of
Mhm.
what's happened, I think
Yeah.
that's
Well, we are
been
going
such a
through
change.
a mass awakening right now, and it is exciting to see. So I hope that they do resist doing it, because
Hmm.
that's the thing. If all the military men and women out there just refuse to go into battle, well, what are they going to do?
Exactly. Yeah.
The general's not going to do it,
If
and that's
we,
the thing. Like,
and
yeah.
what's got to be known is all of these charges are being tossed out for stores being open, people refusing to get masked, people refusing to take the medicine. All of those are being turned over. People closing their stores. So I hope people see that these are all being repealed. So it's beneficial for store owners to keep their stores open and refuse to shut down, even taking the charges day after day after day, because they can't uphold them. They're unconstitutional in the states, and under the Canadian laws, you can't uphold it either because it's not a law; it's a mandate. Um, so they've all failed, and these store owners, a lot of them, many of them, have gone out of business anyway, so they can never recoup unless they try for countersuing. But I don't know that that's necessarily going to work against the government. But they are being overturned. So staying open is the real option. That's the only option, other than completely losing businesses and refusing to comply for the rest of us. It's been working
Mhm.
here in Hamilton. Um, we refused critical race theory. The parents are in the process of refusing sexualization of their children. They refused masking. They tried that this September. That was a no-go. So we are winning with non-compliance.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad to see that the
Jargo.
parents weren't out there and try to correct this what they're doing to the kids. I mean, it's just horrible.
Yeah. Hopefully that wakes them up to what else is going on around them.
Yeah, and Trudeau, I think he's. I'm surprised he's still there. I'm surprised that he hasn't stepped down, but
he's got a bunch of cronies in his parliament, and he just shuffled them around to put them in different places so you can see different faces and not blame the same people this time. That's his plan there. Just like when they did the trucker strike, they had 3 different lines of troops to bring in so that they didn't traumatize their own troops. They're doing the same thing with politicians. They switched up like around the world, all the prime ministers and all that, so that we can't blame them now, which is bullshit. They're all the same. They're all puppets, you know. But refusing and saying no, like Max Egan says, that's really the solution. Just refusing to do it. We've got to encourage our militaries not to go to war, to refuse to go to war, to go to jail instead. We're risking going to jail by speaking out like we are. Sorry to say it, that's the world we live in now. We live in pretty much a communist. You're in Canada too, so you're in China.
We sure are.
We have compelled speech, and we have speech that you can go to jail for. So.
Yeah. I know I tried to get into a volunteer position here at our local politician thing here. But no, can't get in there. The mayor already knows my stand on things, and
so
I'm shadow banned even for real here. Locally too.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Hi, Christos. Yeah,
they won't allow you a chance to go and speak your mind. And trying to get things changed. They won't allow it. They only hire volunteers who are on the same wavelength as they are.
Now, with enough signatures, you could petition for office. Just a thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I
think it's 500. You just have to go door to door. Tell people you're a platform, get them to sign a form.
Yeah, well, if you're going to campaign, you need to have, people behind you. You need to have posters. You need to have this.
It's hard.
And that all costs money.
Toronto had, I think there was close to 50 or 100 people running for mayor because everybody's so sick of it. It was ridiculous. And who got in? A globalist. Wow, what a surprise.
Well, that's the thing. That's it's people don't even bother because it's already been selected who's going to be in there.
Yeah, it's not an election. It's not an election. It's a selection.
No, yeah, it's just for show the whole thing, but no, it's already determined. So, yeah, we don't stand a chance. We can't get in there.
No, that's really tough. You have to have the money to campaign. And, even with the money, we had Chris Sky out here. He's a millionaire. He had a great campaign, but nothing came of it. He did get a significant part of the vote, but not enough.
No, they'll make sure that it's just under, yeah. And that's one thing that Trump had in his favor is that he had all that money. He didn't give a crap about them, right? He just has so much money that he can do that. But most of us don't have that, so unfortunately.
Yeah. So yeah, it's all so contrived. It's and that's what people need to realize is it is just contrived, and our non-compliance can stop it, just like that.
Yeah, the only thing we can do is wake people. Try to. You can't really wake people up.
No.
They have to wake up in their own time. But
yeah.
Right. doing
as
what
I
we're doing here, putting ourselves literally on the line, speaking out about this, on our different channels, and
yeah. So
that.
I don't promote that Israelis and Palestinians fight with each other at all. I don't take any side in that one because that was an entirely contrived situation as well by the globalists. That's basically who's doing all this. You can call them a cabal or whatever, but they're globalists, and it consists of many different groups, many different factions, all working towards a very similar goal, but with their own little bend, you know. So that's I wish the Palestinians and Israelis would put down their arms.
Hmm.
Um, Although I know that their conflict would still continue. There is no real good solution to this situation as it's been set up. Neither side has any reason uh, in their mind to give an inch, and I can understand both sides somewhat. Not really, because I'm not there and I'm not of those people, but from my limited, you know, standpoint, it seems like an untenable situation that they've set up. Um, and I really don't know what to do for those people. I wish I did. Uh,
I know it's horrible to watch, all the children and what they've gone through, and it's just, and they're, I guess if you grew up like that, yeah, you're gonna build some hatred in your, you know, in
yeah,
your heart, especially when you're watching your own family getting either killed or injured, and
yeah, go
yeah,
off
you're
to be a
gonna,
suicide bomber, you know?
you are going to, and so these people, unfortunately, are just so hateful towards each other now that it's, I think it's rooted in there now. It's been 3, 4 generations, and
Hi,
that's
twin.
about the time that it takes for it to really take root, and so I don't know if there's any way of convincing either side of anything other than
Not really. I don't know that you could convince the Palestinians to move anywhere else. I don't know that you could convince the Israelis to move anywhere else. I really doubt it. Um, I don't know, but
yeah.
I don't think we should be in there doing anything. I don't think
Well,
that's our responsibility.
I've heard that the end game for the world, as such, is that there's not going to be any more borders. Those type of things are going to be thing of the past.
Yeah,
And
we'll
I
be in
suppose,
districts.
yeah, I suppose that kind of would take that whole scenario away, wouldn't it? There's, it's just, there's no borders. There's no Israel. There's no Palestine. It's just land. That's all that we're all sharing
Yeah.
together. That's it.
Well,
So that maybe,
they're
so
carpet
maybe that,
bombing these places, so maybe they could build their 15-minute city for Israel, for the Israel district.
well, they're going to do that for sure. Yeah.
You know.
There's a sign in Vancouver saying, future home, a 15-minute city. On the island, Nanaimo, 15-minute city. Kelowna, that was burning here.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 15-minute city. That's why they're burning it down, so they can,
Yeah.
rebuild it into
Get
their
rid of
thing.
all the cottages.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what's going on there with all these fires and stuff. There's burning down places that they want to rebuild into their own little thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. All we can do is put the energy out there like we're doing, like you say, like we're doing.
mhm.
Talk about it. Hopefully somebody catches our channel. If they don't, I tell you my trick is I walk in first thing Monday morning and I go, did you hear that what those damn Israelis did? They let the damn Palestinians through the gate,
Yeah,
and I just start, going on about it. That's how I get it out. Anybody
yeah.
who's around me gets to know what I think's going on. So that's how I get it out there.
Yeah, that's all we pretty much can do, right? So,
Yeah,
but for those who are listening, you might be thinking, "Oh, what can I do?" I mean, just sharing these videos that you're listening to right now.
yeah. Share
Supporting our
clips.
channels. Like we're literally putting our necks on the line here. Like
Yeah,
I'm already shadow banned because of the stuff that I was doing on Facebook. that's why I can't. I'm losing out on opportunities here now that I'm noticing
Yeah.
because of the stuff that I was posting. Because all these politicians are also on Facebook, and they're
Yeah.
watching what I'm posting and what we're doing. And so yeah, we're literally putting our necks on the line here, people.
Yeah.
For that, I've been doing this for years. I didn't just wake up in the last 3 years. I woke up like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I was on my soapbox, and yeah, I didn't do myself any favors. So most of you don't have the guts to do that, and I get it. I totally get it. But the way that you guys can help out is by sharing the videos, liking, talking about it,
Yeah.
and doing that kind of thing. And then that way
Even
we're
make we've got to saturate the market too, because
yeah.
the other side has saturated the market. If you guys
Mm-hmm.
can just take clips from anything and just
Yeah.
post it, because we have to beat them in the algorithm, and they're
Mm-hmm.
putting out much more content than we are. Um,
Yes.
we are winning like by views and stuff, but not by the amount of content. We need to outbeat their content. So
That's the
that's
thing.
why I'm doing these extra shows.
Yeah, these people got money behind them, right? And so they're hiring full-time people that are, trolling channels,
Yep.
and being, and that kind of thing. But also influencers, right? They're paying off influencers out there who have hundreds of thousands of,
Yeah,
followers and all this
they've
kind of
hired
stuff.
thousands. They've hired thousands of
Yeah.
influencers.
And so they're
People to
putting it
make
out there.
videos, people to make those shorts,
Yeah,
people to,
that's
and
right. And people are seeing those because they're already out there. They're already got
yeah,
the algorithms in their favor. And so they can sneak in things here and there, and with their
yeah,
content. And we don't have that. You and I, we don't have the money to hire people or do any of this shit, right? We're just sitting here. I'm looking at your subs haven't really moved. Your subs should be way up there for the amount of videos that you're doing, but
yeah,
it's not because it's been shadow banned, you know.
exactly. Yeah.
So, we
Before the
really,
pandemic, I used to get about 20 to 40 new subs a month. Now I get
yeah, I
two to
know.
four.
There's
You
two
know.
forward, three back, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. I've noticed,
Yeah.
and it's very frustrating.
Hmm.
But it's very obvious that we are shadow banned,
Yeah.
and
Right now I'm up around 1,200 subs, really, but they take half of them away. It
yeah,
happened to
I
me the
noticed
first
that
night I
too.
started this channel about a year ago. Um, I got 50 subs the first night. I woke up in the morning and there were 25.
Right.
So,
I've noticed that with views too, because I'll be looking when I'm going live. I remember I'm looking, I'm like, oh, I got quite a few views here. Then once I was done with the video and I went back to it, it was like half. It shows up like half of views.
yeah,
And yet I saw twice that number like just a few seconds ago. So they're fudging that too. There's more people, but they shave off half. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
They're also messing with chats too.
yeah.
Some of like I noticed since the pandemic started, like Desert Rose and a few and Mary Winds and a few others are hidden to me from chat, so I can't see them, or other people in chat can't see them. So that makes
I
people feel
noticed
like
that.
they're being ignored. So anybody out there, if I don't read your comment, I haven't really read comments tonight, but if people aren't seeing your comments, don't take offense. It could be that you're being banned by YouTube itself. Because I've checked my settings and none of you are banned. None of you are
Yeah, I
limited.
noticed that yesterday too. Because I'm in the live chat during the live show and I see everything that's going on. And then I went back today and I'm looking, wait a minute, I don't remember seeing that person there. I
Yeah,
didn't see her. So I don't know. And I don't remember. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I think once in a while, yeah, they'll have some of them just are, you can't see them.
yeah,
Even though we haven't, as creators, we haven't banned you guys, but it's something that YouTube's doing. So it doesn't look like we got as many people in chat, or I don't know what they're. Yeah, that's what they're doing. So
yeah.
again, yeah, if you are going in there and it looks
I'm
like
mindful.
nobody's paying attention to you, that could be what's going on, and it's nothing to do with us.
Yeah, I'm trying to remind myself to tell people that at the beginning of the show so they don't take offense, so they can go out and come back in and see if that
Yeah,
fixes it. I've
I'm gonna
subbed,
have to do that too.
I've moderated everybody, so I'm hoping that helps as well. But hi, Paul.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
know, they've got their tricks,
They
and
do.
it really upsets some people, they
Oh, it
think
sure does. It makes
they're
people
being
unsubscribe,
ignored,
you know? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And that's what they're doing it for, so that people will leave, and give us a bad mouth maybe. Oh, don't go and bother with that channel. They
yeah,
ignored me in chat yesterday, Oh, and turns out, well, we didn't even see you, so
yeah.
yeah. Hey, Andrew.
Hi,
I see
Andrew.
you here.
Yeah, I'm hoping I see everybody tonight that's here. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's horrible, and they are doing it to everybody. Mindful Exposure says the same thing, right? His subs are all over the place. It's as soon as you speak out, as soon as you say something, you're tagged. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I had a subscriber when all this started, and I started speaking out about what was going on. Uh, that was it. He had enough. He said, I'm not hanging around. I don't want to be caught up in all this." So he unsubbed, and I think he deleted his YouTube channel,
Who
and
was
that was
this?
it. He went dark. I'm not going to say his name
Oh,
uh,
okay.
for his own privacy, because that's what he
Mm-hmm.
wants, is to be
Okay.
anonymous. So I'm not going to point him out.
Mm.
But yeah, I had somebody that did that. They just went dark, as they call it, and told me he's
Mm.
going dark, and I said, "Oh, okay, bye," and that was it. Poof, gone. But
Yeah,
yeah,
well, that's the thing. Most people don't have the guts to do what we're doing, and
no,
I don't say I blame you guys, okay?
yeah, there could be
So,
there could be consequences for
oh, there
speaking
already
out.
is. I've already noticed it. Like I said,
Yeah,
opportunities that are, and I would have been great in there,
yeah,
to with the local politics here, but no, they don't want
yeah,
my kind in there, so. But
yeah.
I
Like,
can easily turn and go on the other side for them too, though. Like, it would be better off for them to have me on the inside, honestly, because now I'm on the outside and I can probably do a whole lot more trouble on the outside, but because I can't keep my mouth shut, as you all know. So uh,
yeah, they won't let you inside.
no, no. But it doesn't mean that I can't show up at their meetings, because that's the thing. Most of these meetings they're open to the public, but most
Yeah,
people don't even realize. Most people couldn't care less. But it is open doors, so we can go in there and get up there and ask questions, and bring things up, because that's what we need to do. We can't just sit here and bitch about things. We need to actually, go and do things. Go to the meetings, and try to, steer votes in a way that we think that it should go. And don't
yeah,
just let them do everything for us, because that's what we're doing. Just sitting here, letting them do it all, and then we sit here and bitch about it, without doing
yeah.
anything.
All those mothers that are now protesting at schools and stuff,
Yes.
they need to get out there because it's done during the daytime. I'm working. They do it
Yeah,
when
well,
I'm working.
yeah, exactly.
You
And
know,
most genders both work nowadays. So
yeah,
that's the thing. People are so freaking busy, and
yeah,
that's again,
and that's part of the game too, right?
that's part of the whole agenda, is to keep everybody so busy that we don't have time to question. We don't have time to go to the meetings. We don't have time to think about what's for dinner, never alone what's going on in the world.
Right?
So yeah, that's all done on purpose. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys are, like I said, I know a lot of us here are up in age now. A lot of us are retired, and that's why, I think, if you aren't working, get involved with your local politics,
Yeah,
right?
if you're on
Go down there.
disability or anything,
Yeah,
if you
if
have
you're
the
not
time,
working, take advantage of it.
yeah, go
That
just go
they
there and
say.
make noise.
Yes,
You know,
exactly. Yeah.
just go sit
And
there
let's
and make
face it,
noise.
we're up in age
Whatever
now
you can
anyways.
do.
Who gives a crap if this
Yeah,
is it? At least we're
yeah,
going out with a blaze of glory.
exactly, exactly.
Uh,
I've already lived most of my life, so you know,
hmm Yeah, the best of our days are already gone.
all
So
I can.
now,
I'm hoping to make my life here better for my daughter, and for me if I have to come back. And I want to come back. I
I
like
don't
that.
want to come back either. But that's the scary
Oh,
thing. Like, if
I'm
I
coming
was a
back.
young mother right now, I would be in the school's face. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah. My daughter's 33, so.
I would be. Yeah, mine are is getting into the 30s too. So but I have grandkids
But
now though.
oh
But
no,
I
don't
don't
get me
want to.
wrong. I am coming back. I'm a returner.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm up for the fight. I live for the fight.
I say I'm not going to, but I've been here many, many times. I'm sure I said that each time, that
Yeah,
was going to
I
be
think a
it.
lot of people do.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
when you get over there and you have access to all knowledge, all time, all space,
yeah.
it
It's
doesn't
got to be
take it
worth it
doesn't take
somehow.
long. It doesn't take long to do everything because you can do
Yeah,
it
I don't know. There's got
like
to be
that.
some kind of brownie points for coming here, right? So once we are on the other side, we're like, oh no, I'm going to do one more
Well,
time
we
because I'm
we
going
get to
to get
change
whatever.
things. That's the brownie points. We get to change things.
Yeah, or it
That's
looks good on our resume somehow. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know
yeah,
exactly how that
right.
works. I'm sure we have some kind of spiritual resume,
You
right? What
made
did
it
you
through
do when you were
hell.
down there? You know? Yeah.
You made it through school or hell or whatever some people like to
Right,
call it,
right. Yeah,
hell.
because some people, they exit out of here. They're like, "Oh fuck, I can't do this. I'm out of here." Right? Those people be like, "Oh, is that right? Oh, you're for sure going back because you didn't do what you were supposed to do here the first time, and then you got to do the stuff that you're supposed to be doing now. So you're going to go back and do double time. So there's no sense
Yeah.
doing that. For those who
I don't
are ever,
know. There's something
thinking
about
about that.
heaven that just doesn't appeal to me, you know?
I
Eternal
don't think it's
eternal
going to be worth
bliss.
it.
Eternal
Yeah.
bliss just doesn't appeal to me. I'm not down for
Right.
that. You know?
Yeah, I don't think there
Maybe
is
I'm
such.
just a sadist, who knows?
We're sucker for punishment, and we keep
Yeah,
coming
yeah, I don't know.
back. Oh, yeah. It's quite the ride, though. I gotta say. I mean, it's weird in our generation. Like I'm the X generation. I think most of us here are. We were kind of the last generation that got to grow up in the way things used to be. I'm not going to say the normal way, but the way things used to be. We're just kids. Nobody knew who the kids were. You came home when it got dark. No cell phones, none of that. The parents didn't care where we were. We're all just living life.
Yeah,
Now, no. I mean, the kids are wrapped up in plastic and uh,
bubble wrap. Yeah,
it's just they're not
bubble wrapped
living the
with
way that we did.
helicopter parents. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. We used to, shoot firecrackers at each other. You know,
Well, we're in the back of Dad's pickup. There's no
Yep.
seat
I
belts. There's none
slept
of
on
that
I
shit,
slept on
right?
the back dash,
Yeah,
we had a station wagon for a while. We got 8 of us in the back there once.
yeah, yeah.
No damn seat belts, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us made
Well,
it.
Dad's
So,
smoking a cigarette in the
that,
car,
that's
right?
that's survival of the fittest, right? You know.
Yeah. Well, that's that's
It
the way
was
it was,
only
right?
the really stupid kid was the one that got the lawn dart through his head. And he deserved it.
Oh my God.
What are you doing
Lawn
throwing that
darts.
thing
Yeah.
straight up in the air, you moron? You got to throw it at somebody at least, like
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
hit
know. That's why we
something.
got all these stupid rules now because of all the stupid people,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Oh, they're
So
putting
now
up
they're taking all the
fencing
fun away.
everywhere in my city because there's the Bruce Trail and there's a lot of waterfalls. Well, that comes with some small canyons and some big ones. And, they had to put up fencing. Even with the fencing, these idiots are falling off the damn thing.
Yeah, I
you
know.
know but see, they shouldn't be stopping that. They should be allowing it to happen. It's survival of the fittest. We have to get rid of these morons.
Well, don't you worry.
it's the
They have
dar it's the
plans on
Darwin
getting rid of
Award,
most
right?
of us.
It's the Darwin Award, right?
And that is one thing that you can almost in their favor. It's like there is a lot of people that probably don't need to be here. Honestly, when you look around, like, so I get it. They want to thin out the herd a little bit. I get it.
Yeah,
It's probably not a bad thing, honestly, but nobody wants to be the one that's got to go, though, right? So, um, yeah, and us who are older, retired, disability, those are the people that they want gone, right?
yeah. I'm actually
So,
a populist. I think we should increase the amount of people. That way we come into a crisis where we have to overcome it, and that'll take us off world or something.
well, to be
We'll do
honest
we'll
with
do
you,
something better. We'll go in Earth or out of Earth.
yeah, to be honest with you, though, we're actually going towards an extinction here. It's what, so this is another lie, because
Oh yeah.
if you go and look at when all the baby boomers, they're in their mid 70s now, maybe closer to 80s actually.
Yeah.
They're going to be exiting out of here soon. Once those are all gone, there's going to be a major drop in the population right there. And then, of course, people aren't having very many kids.
Yeah.
You know, like I know a lot of my friends had just the one. A
Yeah.
lot of friends had just the one. So
Just
they
one for me
didn't
as
even
well. Yeah.
they didn't even replace themselves. You
Yeah.
know, having two that was replacing. If you have three, okay, now you're in a surplus. But anything under that, no. So I really feel sorry for my kids' generation because there's not going to be very many people supporting them when they get old.
No.
And I talk to my kids, like they're very lucky that they got into the market, and they're one of the few who are in the market, married, and having kids. Everyone else, they're living at home still.
Yeah,
They can't afford to move out.
that's
They
entirely
can't afford to get
manipulated as
married, and they
well.
certainly can't
Yeah.
afford to have children.
Yep.
So, oh no, that's the thing. That's why I don't understand why they're so gung ho on depopulation right now, because that's going to happen naturally now, anyways. That's a done deal.
They manipulated that with economics.
Yeah,
they
did.
Entirely with economics, they did that. They made it untenable to have over one or two children. And
and then after the
now
war,
you've got
yeah, the women had to go out to work in the workforce, and that kind of takes care of that. Well, because somebody's got to actually be at home and raise the family.
Yep.
So and that's probably going to happen again if there is another war here. You guys got to go out, or not you guys, but our kids is going to have to go out there. Women are going to have to go back in to take over everything again now, aren't they?
Yeah. It was the 50s when you could pretty much have any job and buy a house, a house, a car, and a cottage.
Mom at home,
have 3 or 4 kids, you'd be just fine.
Yeah, and we have Leave It to Beaver in the 50s, and look at us now. Yeah. What the hell happened there?
Yeah, it should have been increasing the economics, but it was decreasing economics constantly. Yeah. So now you kids don't even think about buying a house, let alone buying a house, car, and cottage.
No, those days are gone. But that's part of the agenda, though, is that there's not going to be any more middle class. And
well, it really wouldn't be gone. You know what we could do if we got rid of all these NGOs and all these people that have made money off of stock markets that they've manipulated over the past 20 to 100 years. If we just destroyed all that money, all of our money would be worth a fortune. And that's the way to fix it. That's one way to fix it. And if you defund the Fed, if you get rid of the Fed, they have to distribute their assets, which they don't have near the assets that they claim they're worth. So they have some gold and they have properties and stuff like that, but they don't have the multi-trillions of dollars in their valuation. They've never been audited. And what they'd have to do is they'd have to redistribute all that property to the people to pay down their debt, which means that the American people would right off the bat become richer as well. Think about that, becoming richer, just like that. Right. Your money becomes worth more.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see here with this whole financial collapse. What's going to happen here.
Yeah,
if the dollar is gone. Well, we know that the whole one world agenda is one world currency, one world government, one world religion.
Yeah, that fell apart on them, didn't it, with BRICS? So that's pretty awesome. So gold and silver are still a viable, tradable commodity outside of our monetary system. Hi, Ulrich. So I thought about crypto, but I never got into it because I knew that would eventually be limited by the banking system. Mm-hmm. At least that was my thought on it. So I bought a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver, and even if it's not tradable for commodities, it's still good for bribes. So that's another beneficial use of it.
Well, I'm
Uh,
hoping that, once, the whole, financial thing is, collapsed or whatever, the housing market will also, settle down. I'm hoping that, if you got some gold, that you'll be able to go out and buy some land. That's what I'm hoping,
yeah, yeah.
but I don't know if they're going to let us do that
Well,
though,
some claims put gold at $5,000 an ounce,
Yeah.
and right now I think it's around 2,500, so twice as much
hmm
as they
Well, that's
claim.
short term. I'm hoping that
Yeah,
1 ounce of gold is going to be enough to get yourself a chunk of land. That kind of thing. Like, I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm
could
kind of
be,
hoping that,
could
whoever
be.
has the minerals are going to be the winners. The dollar will be gone.
There are
I
some
don't
dirty
know.
pieces of land going for around 3 to 5,000 in the states because there's a lot of abandoned areas.
Yeah. Well, if they, succeed with the depopulation and everything, there's going to be a lot of land laying there for
Yeah,
people to
unfortunately, I
grab.
think they are going to succeed with a lot of that. Not as quickly as they want, though. Um, you notice how they kept trying to distribute more and more medications. They had to do that because they probably found in their testing that they weren't getting the results they wanted.
Not quick enough. Although I do see a lot of people, especially young people, are dying off, but it's probably not quick enough, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
for them. Um, and a lot of people stopped at 2. Thank
yeah,
the goodness for that.
yeah.
So
They're we're
hopefully that
around
will,
we're around 10% compliance, 10 to 15% now.
yeah, hopefully the
So
2 isn't enough to make any
yeah,
major,
and a lot of people have been talked out of, or just decided themselves they don't want more.
yeah,
So
I think most people have. There's a very few, I think, that are still going out there getting what, number 13 now, or I don't know what number we're at now, but
we're up around 5 or 6 here in Canada. That's where
yeah.
we are.
So I
Yeah,
don't know who's still in line for that, but
a few people.
there's a few, because I was in the doctor's office a while ago, and I remember this old guy came in and he's like, "Oh yeah, when's the next one coming? He can't wait. When's the
Yeah,
next one?
my
Oh yeah, he'll be there."
my
You know?
wife's friend has taken all of her up to dates, but her husband is much older than she is, and she was very concerned about getting him sick. And unfortunately, now she's constantly sick.
Right.
So yeah, didn't quite work out well for her. So, right, beloved girls just want to have fun. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Hi, the
Have you?
branch. Good to see you. Everyone say hi to the branch. Haven't seen you for a while.
Who's the branch? Oh, the branch, right? Black. Yeah, meeting with BlackRock. Yeah, that's the thing there, because these people are buying it up like nobody's business, and
Yeah,
that's the problem. They're taking over everything. Obviously, they've always been that way, though. But
yeah.
at least we
We were
had a
doing.
bit of a time here with the middle class. It was fun. It was fun
Yeah, we were
to,
free slaves for a little while. That's about it.
yeah.
You know.
Unfortunately, we're going back to the peasants and the landowners again,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
yeah,
So
yeah. They want to make everything into rental, even your underwear. So
that's the plan, apparently. Yeah, that's if you need something, the drone will bring it to you, and then when you're done with it, the drone will come and take it back.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to that. I can see how, because there is a lot of waste. Let's face it,
Oh,
like women, okay, we'll go and buy a dress, right? Well, we can only wear that dress
yeah,
once, because now
yeah.
everybody's seen you in it, and it just sits there in the closet. I mean, how stupid is that,
Well,
right?
if it was made of hemp fiber, you could recycle it.
Yeah, but why not then just wear it that one time and then bring it out somewhere and let somebody else wear it next weekend? You
Or
know
if
what
it
I
was
mean?
hemp fiber, you could put it in the ground and let it feed the plants. There's the
Yeah.
see they've also set up a disposable system of waste as well that we could
Mhm.
fix. Like if you made products that lasted a long time, you could take that dress that you wore once or twice, put it into a reuse it center, like a Salvation Army or a Value Village that we have up here, and
Well, so we have
somebody
those
could buy
guys
that for two
already,
two
but
bucks after
mhm.
and wear it. So yeah, there's all kinds of solutions that would work, but it's the system they've set up is waste. Like the planned obsolescence of everything is what really holds us back um, from having bounty. Really, is planned obsolescence. How many printers have you bought in your lifetime? It's cheap.
There's a lot of ways. I know.
It's cheaper to buy a new printer than to get the cartridges.
Yes, I've noticed that. And
You
so, they're doing
know,
this in the name of money because somebody's making a lot of money on this. But
yeah.
this is where we need to say enough is enough. We
There are
can't be doing this anymore.
there are fields full of thousands and thousands of electric cars
Yeah,
for
so I was
money.
just thinking that too. Like cars, like my car, like it sits in the garage for most of the time.
Yeah.
Again, it's a waste. Why don't we just, if you need a ride, you call, get a ride, and then that's it. You don't need to have that car sitting there for days and weeks on end. You know what I mean? So I do see the pros here.
Well,
With
if
what
they
we're
were doing
doing.
it for a benefit, why didn't they set up rail systems way back?
Yeah, so that's what they need to do, public transport, and I think
You
that's what the
know.
whole 15-minute city, that's what they're planning on doing.
Well, yeah,
Everything is
but
going to
they've
be
got
orchestrated.
unfortunately, they have a sick bent to it, and
Yes, I know. It's gonna sound good, and in a way it is, because I think there's a lot of ways of reducing waste. The way that we have been, because we got to accumulate everything. We got to have the biggest car, the biggest house, the most clothes sitting there in that closet that never gets worn. We got this mentality of materialism, and that has to stop. But
yeah,
that is going to be very, very hard for people to get around, to get
yes,
their
it
minds
is.
around that.
Well,
Yeah.
and making products that last is another
And yeah,
part of
like
it.
going back to the way it used, like in Norway, like I grew up in Europe, like when you got married, you got your things, wedding gifts. Those things lasted your whole life.
Yeah,
That's the thing. You only need one, right?
it used
And
to be family cook pots, like
yeah, where
you
you
know,
actually pass down your furniture.
yeah,
Like you don't go and get new stuff every 5 years or 3 years or whatever it is that people are doing nowadays. Like, no, like my grandparents, furniture that they got when they got married, they still had that when they passed away when they were old. Like
yeah,
that was good quality, freaking expensive stuff.
yep,
Like,
yep. Been recovered
but
a few
nowadays,
times, I bet.
yeah, nowadays, boy, with that IKEA cheap, put it together so that you can change it all out every 2 years, right? New
Yep,
color scheme, yeah. It was like that's only been going on for what, 3 generations maybe. It wasn't
yeah.
like that, like not that long ago.
Even my
And
mother
so,
had furniture that's been passed on.
yeah.
Like in my family, I have furniture that's from past generations. But
Mhm.
yeah, we could make that stuff again. Make
Yeah.
beautiful furniture instead of just cheap crap.
Yeah. Mhm.
In Russia, you can't make a fridge that doesn't last 20 years. So, we could
Right.
do things like that. Light bulbs,
Mhm.
they should last you your lifetime,
It
you know,
should, right? But they're not
right?
making any money, unfortunately, and that's yeah,
Yeah,
where we're
that has to change, right? We have to come up with
yeah.
new
It's
goals
our
and new.
mind. Our frame of mind has to change first. That's the
Yeah,
problem. Like we got to get away from this hoarding all this money, because that's what it
yeah,
comes down to. People wanting making money,
yeah.
more money. And compromising, nature, compromising everything in order to get it.
And
And
imagine
that's the
how
thing.
much of the manpower in that we could repurpose to greater works. Um, I, I don't know, maybe not the pyramid, but something like it. You know, do great works again, do things for the healing benefit of mankind.
Mhm. Well,
Um,
yeah, but you need to get Tesla stuff back, right? That's the thing. That's why they
well,
gaslit him, buried all his stuff.
they've set up all these cell towers. They could be repurposed.
Yeah, so that's the thing. And that's the hope that I see for the future, that all of this stuff is going to be coming out. The whole test, there's no reason why we should pay for Wi-Fi or whatever. Like we should be
Yeah.
able to just get that out of the air, the ether, and Tesla had the
Well, it can
drawings
be
and everything.
Wi-Fi can be used actually. It can be used for beneficial purposes.
Yeah, same with electricity.
Yeah,
Like you'd be surprised what you
it all
can.
can be repurposed in a second
Yeah,
to benefit mankind. Unfortunately, right now
yeah.
it's all tuned and geared to damage us, to keep us
Yeah, they're
down.
not going to tell us about that, right? Like the
Yeah,
organ, the organ in the church, when they're not playing, it actually does something to your organs. That's why it's called an organ. Like there's so much to sounds, frequencies, but they're not. That's the occult. That's the hidden knowledge that they don't want you having that stuff. You see, only they know about that, right? They don't want the people to know about that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, we need to go back to all of this, right? To the
yeah,
Going back to the drawing board there to Tesla, and there's no more paying for hydro or Wi-Fi, and all these kind of things, right? And
yeah,
so I have hope for the future, I can
yeah.
see it
I
can be
think the
good.
kid, I think the kids are catching on. That's the reports I've heard. And yeah, don't no nobody's talking revolution here, Oleg.
I hope not. There's definitely
We
going to
don't
be
need a
some
revolution.
revolt,
We just need
you
to
know.
not agree. That's all. Just to disagree.
Well, there's going to be riots in the street for sure. I mean,
Well,
that
yeah,
unfortunately.
but those will probably be provocateurs. Um, they already have the people paid for that. I think. I don't think that'll be anything organic. Nothing you see is organic. Pretty much, you can
Yeah.
assume that out of everything, except for maybe the people's reaction.
Well,
Um,
that's the thing. I think if they make it too bad,
and
people
even
will go to
that,
the street, and
yeah,
revolt.
even that is probably provocateur as well. Like we have the Palestinians and the Israelis going at each other in Canadian streets. Now that's probably
That's what
somewhat
we were worried
natural,
about
but
today.
that's probably provocateur as well. They probably have agents in there uh, pumping up the rhetoric on both sides. That's a well-known tactic, and they haven't left any institution unadulterated. So we can assume that that's probably a part of it as well. You know, and
Hmm.
it's unfortunate because they have pretty much infiltrated everywhere. You start up an organization, they've got somebody paid who's going to go in there and infiltrate you. You know,
Yes, I know.
it's
Hmm.
unfortunate, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
They've got control of the money, so they can make those type of decisions and pay it out. So we have to look at everything as if it's totally provocateured or possibly provocateured or paid for or totally fake. But I do believe that the public reaction on the whole is real. Hi, Cat in the Know. Good to see you. Anyone say the J word? No, we haven't. I don't know if no, I haven't said the J word yet.
I'm just reading the chat here.
He may have been fake, Gigi. I don't know. I don't know if Tesla was fake or not. He may have been even been paid for, but he somewhat seems real to me.
It seems real to me just by the way they gaslit him and
Yeah,
took
they
over,
really
and he
went.
died all alone, broke in the hotel room. I mean,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and
yeah,
he's in our history books. I mean, he did a lot of good stuff.
yeah. Some people think he was a time traveler too, but he was a
Well,
little
some people
nuts.
think that
He
Trump
fell
is,
in love.
or
He fell in love with a pigeon. So hey, take
Mhm.
the good with the bad. I don't know.
Some people are talking about Barron Trump. Have you heard about the theories about around him?
Yeah, I've heard that there was a book written back in the
Yes, there
20s.
was a book written back in the day, and he
Yeah,
looks like him too. And his name is Barron Trump. And yeah, there's the buzz is going around about him. I'm just sitting back to watch and see what happens. I mean, he does have the money behind him to definitely be able to stand up and do something. Like they're talking him being the Antichrist, like that type of person. And I can totally see. I can see his
well, I
dad.
still I still open for Trump being the Antichrist.
I no,
You know,
I think he's
I
going to go bye-byes. I think is what's going to happen there.
possibly that's a
But
possibility.
I think he's in on it. I think he's going to just, and a lot of these, like Kennedy did it. If you go,
Yeah,
I don't know if you watched the movie, so they fake these things. They have to go away for the greater good. And I can see that happening. And the reason why I say that is because Simpsons is always right. I don't know if you noticed, but
Yep.
a lot of things are,
It's
or and
projection, really. It is projection, I think.
yeah, and
They like
he
to follow, they're following their script. They're all actors.
yeah,
So they're
so
following their
they know
script.
something, obviously, because they've been right for so, like, even down to the paper dropping. I mean, how is that possible, right? So yeah, so I'm talking time travel there as well, but I can see that happening just because they already predicted it, and you can kind of see that's the way it's going, because they got to get rid of him somehow. And I think he would probably rather just go along with that and be able to go on a permanent vacation somewhere and live out his life somewhere good without having the public anymore, all that kind of stuff. But I can tell, if that's the case, if that does
Mm.
happen, I can see Baron stepping up. Like, imagine the world on fire.
Well, yeah.
Okay, the world's gotten really bad, and then he steps up and he says exactly the thing that we need to
Yep.
hear, the thing that we need right now. And he's got such a cuteness about him,
Does
like
he?
innocence about him. That I can see that. And he's so tall. What is he, 7 foot something? Like, he's a Nephilim, that guy. Like,
Have you
serious.
seen Trump? Have you seen that Trump? A lot of people are saying that he looks like Elvis. Have you ever
A
seen?
little bit
Have you
with the
ever seen?
hair kind
Yeah.
of thing, the Elvis hair.
Well, the face. No, no, the face.
Oh, the
You
face.
you look at the face,
Okay.
and yeah, there's a good possibility, or they're the same family.
Well, they're all related, these people,
Yeah,
aren't they? Like, a lot of them,
yeah, they are. They actually are. Yeah.
So, yeah, because when you look at, I think every single president is related,
Except for one.
except for one. I can't remember who that is.
Yeah,
Now,
I
is
don't
that
remember
Trump
which
or
one it
no? Is that
was
somebody
either.
else? I can't remember.
No, no, it
But
was
yeah,
somebody way back.
so that tells you right there, right? They're all selected ahead of time. If you're in the bloodline,
Yeah,
you'll get in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hi,
That's
hi,
gonna be.
Morgan. How you doing? Yeah. So whatever we're seeing, it's probably contrived. We can assume that. You have to assume that from the start to even get to any resonance of truth. You can't assume that anything that they're giving you is the truth, or you're just being misled, unfortunately. You have to,
They'll give you a little bit of truth, and then there'll
yeah,
be a bunch of lies.
yeah.
So that's the thing. It's so hard to decipher between what's what, you know. So we got to use our discernment, I guess. Use our
Yeah,
intuition,
but
and
people are
say
getting
everything.
much, I've noticed this, we're getting much quicker at it. These things are coming out, we're figuring it out much quicker because we know that they let those weapons in. We know that they
Mm-hmm.
left the front door open by decreasing the amount of troops they had around the
Yeah,
border.
yeah,
Um, and we know that Iron Dome and that area of the world is monitored by satellite 24/7, and nothing gets in or out of there without them knowing. They have ground penetrating radar going around that thing constantly, looking for people tunneling underneath it. You don't think they're going to notice them bringing in a barrage of 3,000 missiles? Yeah.
yeah. When you watch the video from last night, there's this, a lady that's close by there, and she said the same thing. I mean, they'll notice a cockroach moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, this place is so heavily, there's just no way. This is kind of like an Epstein again. That, the guards fell asleep, everything, like one of those again. It's just like, really? How many times are we going to
Exactly.
fall for
Yeah.
this?
It's Epstein all over again.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pulling an Epstein. And, it's like, we didn't fall for it for the first time, but even let's say somebody did, shame
Yeah.
on,
This time people are getting, more than one person is dying.
yeah,
That's the huge difference,
that's true.
right?
Yeah.
Now they're actually making people die. You know, Epstein's probably still alive somewhere. His double got killed and whatever,
I would
or
think so. He
whatever.
took our money and stuff. I mean, but then again, dead men don't talk.
Yep.
So there is that too. So I don't know. Could go either way on that one there, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just,
Who
I
knows,
just can't
right?
believe that people are falling for it though. Like,
Well, yeah,
but
they're going to kill each other over it. And
hmm
it, again, they've put them in such an untenable situation. It's you know, what can you do other than let them? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm not there. I wish I knew what to do because people are still going to die on both sides. This is horrible. You know?
Yeah, and that to them, that's just expendable. That's just,
Yeah, to
they
these
don't care.
globalists, it's nothing.
They don't give
You
a,
know, they don't
yeah,
give a, yeah, they don't give a rat's ass.
no.
Oh, we have somebody else joining in. Hi, Morgan.
Hi, is my mic working good?
Yeah, you sound
Okay,
good.
right. I've got them just sitting over there beside each other. Well, I've got yeah, right on, perfect. I don't even have
Morgan's been trying to work out mic problems.
yeah, I don't even have it in front of me. It's worked when I've been on Z's.
Yeah. Do we
I
do we do we do that, beloved? Do we just let them be stupid? I, you know, like, what can I do about it from here? You know, I'm 5,000 miles away from you. You know, I can't buy you missiles. I can't buy you an Iron Dome. Um, I can't make Israel. I can't make Palestine. I can't do anything for you people except I could help you kill each other. What good does that do?
right, right,
It's an untenable situation.
Well, what it does is instills fear for the rest of the world because we're all filming this. It's all on camera, right? So it's all over
Yeah,
the world. Everybody's watching, and that's the
kind
unfortunate.
of.
yeah, yeah.
It
Yeah.
What's with all
looks
the
like
fake
it.
footage? What's with all the fake footage? Why are they? My God, why are they putting out all
Like, and
this
then it
fake
seems half
footage too?
deliberate, right, Max?
You know?
Like the poor foot coming out of Ukraine, where it's like we can see that you're just making the movie and telling the people to.
Oh, I saw a video out of Ukraine that
There's
had a
real
bunch of dead people in the
footage.
streets, and in the rearview mirror, you saw the guy get up and walk away. So that was totally faked. You know, they said, "Oh, all these people
Yeah.
were shot by Russian civilians," and in the rearview mirror, these people are getting up and walking away.
Yeah, it's all staged. That's the
It's
thing. We
all
can't
staged.
believe a thing.
I'm seeing a lot of 45-year-old equipment being blown up.
You know, I'm
Or,
not saying
or,
that
or
people did or didn't
even,
die in Israel or Palestine. I don't know. I'm not there. You know,
But
that's
it
the
is kind
thing.
of interesting that we haven't seen a single footage of any of these people dead, like kids, and we haven't seen any of that.
yeah, where's
So
the footage of them coming in, parasailing
I
onto the
I
I
festival
saw
seen
the
with
that.
all
parasailing.
Yeah, I've seen
the
that.
like.
Yeah, I have that in my video from last night. You'll see that.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
because there people have cell phones now, so the people were all filming everything nowadays. So yeah, there is footage of that. So we do see, but
okay,
you know what? All we're seeing though is people running away from the thing. We're not
Yeah,
seeing
I didn't
anybody
see
being
anybody
killed.
dead
That's
Nobody
what I
dead.
meant. That's what I meant when I rolled my eyes earlier and everything. We see a spectacle,
from
Hmm.
a specific
and
vantage
it's
Yeah,
point.
written like
we can
Hollywood.
hear
You're
the
ooh, look
gunfire.
at it, the
Yeah,
GI Joe. I
yeah,
want that action figure. It's got the guy on that side and that side. Woo, they're paragliding.
yeah.
Like
So who
it's
knows
too
if anybody
entertaining.
actually died at all? We don't know.
That's right.
We don't know.
So, but it got us talking though, didn't it?
Unless
It's a
you have
distraction,
family, if
right?
anybody here or if anybody listening, if you have family that has died, we are very sorry
Yeah. Let
for
us.
your loss.
Absolutely.
Well, obviously,
Um,
Absolutely.
yes.
on any side, I just
And I'm not saying that people don't die when other people are making a scene and making their chaos.
yeah,
I'm
Absolutely,
sure
men
there
die
is
and
some
women die and
casualties,
children die
but
when they're making their chaos. And that's the point, though. People, innocent people, are the worst thing in the world is an innocent soul dying for someone else's greed.
yeah,
Like, it really is.
mhm.
It's cancer of existence.
yeah,
Yeah. And I believe one way or another, it's going to be stomped out. Now that's what I believe I am to be, to tell people, no matter what, life has a way of
yeah,
like with that Jeff Goldblum thing, right? So I feel that that's a position I'm in. People turn around and do the right thing because it's right. because what's coming you won't be able to handle, man.
We have to
Like,
do what's right. That's what
yeah,
me and Nina were talking about. You coming out and speaking about what you speak about, the children, that could get you in a lot of trouble. And what we speak about could get us in a lot of trouble eventually. There's a lot of laws coming out in Canada, the U.S.,
there
specifically
are.
around speech.
There
Um,
are, there
yeah,
are, and
yeah, there already are. Yeah,
of
actually, yeah.
course for Canada right now, they were discussing in Parliament the pronouns for the children in school. I
Mhm.
believe what they were discussing was what they were going to make mandatory for them. Obviously, mandatory in the sense of they're going to be punished and or ramification. The child will be they'll get into trouble if they don't. If they don't use the pronouns, I imagine, up to the degree of possible, like obviously, like suspension and things like that. If a child doesn't agree, or possibly like sign something, or you know what I mean,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
get used to
yeah.
that.
Luckily, homeschooling is becoming very popular.
It
Oh
is,
yeah.
and with that, certain parents, they're able to say, yeah, other children as well, especially
Yeah,
if the other
they
parents are
are
like, we
grouping
can
up.
pay you a little bit. Oh, really?
Yeah, they're
Okay, this
grouping
might work
up.
out. Yes,
So
I'd like another student then.
yeah,
And you know what? Clandestine schools, what's wrong with that? Especially if it does create a job in what we will call, not necessarily the truth community, but you can call it the community of love, or just the community of freedom,
well,
of
it's an
choice,
alternate
actually.
economy. It's an alternate economy, an
An
alternate
alternate
system.
economy, exactly.
If
Keeping
we,
our dollar in the truth community a bit longer, increasing
yeah,
its value.
yep, and expanding the truth community and
Yeah.
diminishing their system.
Mm-hmm.
Their system gets paid for asses in the seats. So if those asses are not in the seats, their money dries right up. So yeah, anybody that's pulling their kids out, that's thousands of dollars to those guys every year. You're like $10,000, $20,000 a kid
Yeah.
every year. It's a lot of money.
That goes right back into their coffer, like you said, right?
Yeah,
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 exactly, exactly. Because your
yeah,
tax money is still. They always argue about this every year, where your tax money goes when you're still paying for education if you're homeschooling, or if you're sending your child to private school, because your taxes you're still paying for the
public.
regular schooling,
Yeah,
and that's always a big issue. Whether people should be able to get that.
yeah, school credits
Yeah, school
instead of
credits. That's right. I always
yeah.
remember that being a big issue. My dad being a separate school board person. Yeah.
Well, the head of our school board has her children in private school.
Oh really? Yeah.
She knows better than to put her own kids in the system she's running.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's rich.
Indoctrination camps.
you know,
That's
it's
rich.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I would have thought she would have had them pulled like deliberately not going.
ultimate hypocrisy. Yeah, and
Yeah,
they're all hypocrites. Straight across the board. This whole thing is a practice in hypocrisy. You know.
absolutely.
Yeah. If I had to do it all over again, I would definitely homeschool for sure.
Yeah. Well, you
Oh
might
yeah.
get that chance. Maybe that'll be the system that's existing then.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
If it comes down to it, I might just do that with the grandkids.
Yeah.
I'll see if the parents are on board. Because if that's the way they're going to be teaching the kids that, I don't think so. Grandma's coming to take them out of school.
Yeah. Well, it'd be good for them. It,
Yeah, we'll teach them real stuff.
homeschooling is much superior. Is very superior to classroom school.
You know what? There's
Apparently,
not
the studies only take 2 hours.
I was going to say, there's not that much to it. There's only certain things that you have to learn, like reading and writing and some math or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's not that much to it. So
No.
you have a
Like,
lot of time to
Right.
teach all kinds of things that are going to be helpful, like gardening and,
Yeah.
And then
taking care of pets or,
Most homeschools are more hands-on
yeah,
than actual classroom learning because
that's
you
right.
can do a lot of the classroom learning in outside settings, in other
That's right.
settings.
yes.
And usually, if you're doing classroom on a regular basis, it only takes 2 hours.
Yeah.
And the teacher has
2
to
hours
pay
a day, that's all
attention
you
to
need for
each
that. Yeah.
child in the classroom.
Yeah.
Idyllically, and when
Yeah.
you have a classroom with 30, even 20 students, it's hard for them to. But when you have just 2 or maybe 3 or 4 students, it's not that
They
hard
average about
for the
10.
mom or the grandma or whomever to
Mhm.
give the children their direction
Yeah.
and then let them do the work.
Yeah. They average about
Yeah.
10 per teacher, which is totally manageable.
Oh,
You know,
yes. Oh, yeah. It totally is.
it does take a little longer than like having two or three. One on one is like you can. Oh my god, that's so fast. You know,
Yeah.
it does slow down the more kids you have. But
But yeah,
But it's something that, people could start doing in the community. Like, we don't all need to be at home homeschooling, right? But if one or two could
yeah,
take all the neighborhood kids, like we need to sort of go back to, some of the old ways,
yeah.
yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Even if they're like, Morgan, come over and
I mean,
teach, like if it's like English, why? Because it's like you'd have your senior Englishes, right? It's like, yes, I do. It's like, fine, you can teach the children elementary school. It's like, no, I'm qualified. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad's a prince. Like I know what I'm doing. Um, so yeah, I'd be totally willing to do that. You know what I mean? If it's like, yeah, we need 2 hours out of your like week, 2 or 3
Yeah.
times a week, even
Yeah.
not
I mean,
even more. And it's like just come over for the 2 hours, even. You know what I mean? If it's like, or if you'd like more often to give the mom a break. But I just mean like that's the thing. Somebody who's disabled but not physically disabled, I
yeah,
could do something. I'd be willing to do something with that. I
yeah.
mean, I don't
And
want to
you
make
get
it.
paid
well,
for
they're
it
they're
too.
not even
You know.
teaching them cursive
Oh,
anymore. So, like, what the heck are they even doing? Like,
That's
LOL
what I
on the
wonder.
computer? Like,
What they're
apparently,
yeah.
doing.
there are districts in the U.S. where they can't even pass. Nobody, absolutely nobody can pass. Has competency in math,
I
so no
just saw
math
that
What doesn't
today.
skills.
surprise me.
The teachers
Yeah.
say the kids are in 7th grade are showing at a 3rd or 4th grade level, if not.
Wow.
See, the
And
kids will be smarter if they're homeschooled. I can guarantee you.
I
I
thought
don't care.
about it, and I was like, oh wait, because the last 3 years have been almost write-offs for a lot of the younger kids, and that's how come so many of them are behind 3 years.
Yeah.
Um, because that's the trend. They're all behind 3 years from where they're
Yeah.
supposed to be in American schools. And
Yeah.
I mean, if it's all across the board blanketed, it's almost like, well, good thing it's all across the board. Like, it's
Yeah.
like,
They
yeah,
got to
well, if you
get
can
back
deal
to
with it all
teaching the
across the board,
three
right?
R's.
Obviously.
You know, if they don't start teaching the three R's, the kids are screwed.
But yeah, exactly.
You
It's
know.
like, when are they just going to hit the basics hard? Exactly. Like, we need to get you reading, writing, and what used to be arithmetic.
Yeah.
And that R used to be
Arithmetic.
the arithmetic.
Yeah. Reading, writing, arithmetic.
Yeah,
But
and we
yeah,
all know that history is all a lie. So we can just erase all of those books and
Yeah.
just take that out. It's all bullshit, anyways.
Chemistry's real. But
Chemistry is fine. Yeah,
yeah,
that's things that you can teach
yeah.
them. But
Science,
let's teach them how to balance a
physics.
checkbook. That would be a
Yeah,
good
that
one.
would be a good thing. Teach them how to
Or
invest.
cash. What is that? What
They
is
never
money?
they
What
never
is
teach them
that?
how to invest, how to take
Yeah,
care of themselves.
exactly.
the journey of a
Yeah,
dollar in your community. Oh, okay. Like just things like that, right? But
Yeah,
but it'd be simple because you can do that by explaining to your kids this is where a dollar goes when she get in town usually.
yeah,
yeah. I did that with my grandson. I gave him $20, and we are gonna go to a shopping spree over at the mall there. But it was all a learning lesson. The whole thing about okay, you can spend it all at once over here, or you can go over here and get several things. Start thinking about
yeah,
where the money's going and what we can get for this, what's
Yeah.
the value, and then we came down to counting, like the change. Like my son hasn't taught him at all. And so I'm like, oh my God, my grandkids know nothing. Like I'm gonna, if I don't do it, they're just not gonna, it's not gonna happen. They're all just
yeah.
cards. They have no clue about change back and yeah, it's just
No
we need to
practical
actually get involved.
application,
Like,
no practical learning for the
no,
world they're in and going to be entering to make them more useful as citizens. and instead of just being order followers, to make them actual problem solvers, which is really what you start hitting when you get to like the higher levels. It's like, well, we really need, like, for managers and that, we need somebody that can have a problem and solve it, and then know how to apply the solution to what they see, as opposed to just, I'll listen and do what I'm told.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
to impose systems on things now. Like
But they don't
the
want that.
monetary
They
system.
don't want people thinking,
Yeah,
right?
we need to impose metals on them, gold and silver as currency, things with actual value. You know,
Value. Teach kids even that. What's
yeah,
value?
yeah,
They just want order followers, like you said, and they don't want people questioning or, and so yeah, they need to be out of the school system. The school system's got to go. Like
yeah.
the whole thing needs to collapse. Everything that we're doing, so and unfortunately, it's going to be dramatic when it does because it's going to be a lot of chaos. But it needs to happen. Like
Well,
we
it
got
could
to start.
happen. It's happening slowly. It could just happen a little faster. That's all.
Yeah, it just needs to crash. Just rip that Band-Aid off already. Let's get it over with so we can start rebuilding,
Well, at a certain point, it will, because it won't be able to sustain itself. If they
Yeah.
lose like a third or half of their funding, they won't be able to sustain the buildings, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
Well, I think they want to get rid of the buildings anyways. It's all just going to be virtual online. The
Mhm.
kids are just drones. They just sit there with their headset all day. I think that's the plan,
Yeah,
right?
at that point, that'll probably drive people to an alternate system.
Yeah. Well, then
A
with
lot of
all the
people that'll
lockdowns and
just be
everything,
ease, but yeah,
Yeah, the lockdown was a perfect little, try it out and see what happens, right? And
yep,
yeah,
yeah, that was just a beta test, guys.
Yes, that was.
I know, I know.
Unfortunately, we're coming up to the real test, I think, soon. They're going to hit us with everything at once. They've tested all their systems, so they're going to pull out all the stops and get us to demand that they take control of everything.
That's what
If
it's going to
not,
take. Yeah,
well,
it's going to
if
have to
not,
get so bad.
really, they do want to kill us all too. So, that's in the
Yeah, but it's
works
going
as
to have to be
well.
awfully bad in order for all of us to say, please take over. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
Oh wow, that okay, just hearing what the words exactly that just came out of your mouth, and that is exactly the plan, because that's what's written in the books, in the secret of Hermeticisms,
well, it's submission.
Lebowski and all of that. If you go in and you look at it, it's like, what is it that they're trying to do? Exactly what you just said. Come in until we make it so bad that they beg to have that one world order come in.
yeah,
And just
Yep.
what came, the words that just came out of your mouth were exactly what's written in the text of what it is that they're trying to do.
That
hmm
way, we agree to it.
Yeah.
exactly.
So we've
Yeah,
submitted.
yeah,
So take
Just
care of everything. Do what you will with me. Right? Is the
hmm
implication? Unfortunately, you're giving over your will at that point,
yeah,
and you may not even do it. If you don't agree, the problem is that if the masses agree, we're in a system where the masses decide.
hmm
So it'll be decided for us.
yes, I know. Unless you turn around and go the other way, but then we're going to be nomads, right?
Yeah, well, there's nowhere
Underground.
to go. They'd find you.
We'll be underground, like literally underground.
There's nowhere you can hide, unfortunately.
Sewer system.
Yeah, that's
Like
about it.
literally underground.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
they're there now. There's people, like I saw there was a whole community underneath Vegas and the sewer systems there. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's not
You
the
could do
healthiest place,
that,
but
but
um,
yeah, running off to the woods, that could work.
that's
But you'd
putting
have to
up a
live like an
commune
animal,
somewhere.
because as
Yeah,
soon as you built a house or a fire, it pinpoints you.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
it's gonna
yeah.
be interesting.
See, even we do face consequences if this all goes wrong, really. But what's the choice? What option do we have
Yeah, I don't know.
other
I
than
guess
to
wake
speak
people
out?
up so that everybody knows this, so that they
What
can.
option? Because
I don't
even
know.
though I may go quicker, they're still coming for you. That's the only difference. You might last a little bit longer. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah. Oh, I totally
So
hear. I
I'm
Well,
really
totally
risk,
hear what you're saying,
I'm
man.
risking a bit of time.
yeah.
That's it.
And
You
even as a
know.
prepper too, we only have so much stuff. Like eventually we're all going to run out of food. No matter how much you have, eventually we're going to run out. You're going to run out
Yep.
of ammo. You're going to run out of
Okay,
all of these things.
like nobody else is
Well,
sitting
you
here
can
but
be
me.
prepared to grow food. You can be prepared to grow food. I am.
Like,
Uh,
Well,
so,
that means that you have a house and a place to do
well,
it. Like if you're on the run,
that
you
would
can't
be
do that.
after. That would be after. That's
Yeah,
for a takeoff situation. Go to the woods.
right.
Right
what
now, I'm in a
about
city.
like I just like the desire to like I'm not sure like not hit them hard or something like that, but you know what I mean? Like because not like see I don't know about death and life. Like meaning, okay. I want to get my token here, right? Like it's like
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if we are eternal right now and in the stasis of the womb of love dreaming its dream where its brothers and sisters or its kin, love's kin, are held within a matrix where, and that, now, I'm serious,
Okay.
suicide and self-deleting will actually, because of the friction it causes, will cause it to like a burnout, like a shell or whatever, right? And your consciousness and your vessel, but you cannot escape the, okay, love, which I believe created things because love is not hate and it's not looking to take you and whip your consciousness into a void. It's like, oh, like, no, he took the time to form you. And therefore, I think part of the interpretation of what people call the Word of God, um, that some people manipulate, is this adversarial relationship that really just I think stems from looking at the Old Testament God as some kind of a character that you're supposed to or like eye for an eye or something. It's something that God's about now when it's not. It's really just about love and kindness and compassion and you getting over honestly the spiritual infestation of lesser forms of being than loving others honestly as much as you would like to like see yourself eat good or do well. You really need to resonate that or you're basically like not dying necessarily but you're not growing as a person
Well, yeah,
without
they know you are dying. They have us on a death cycle right now.
yeah.
That's what they're trying to keep us in a death cycle.
Okay, exactly. Now I
Yeah.
refuse to live in that because I don't believe in it because I believe that my spirit
Yeah, the
is in
negativity is
symbiotic
death. The
relation.
negativity is death. You know.
Negative. Yes. Yeah. 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 You see. I have a belief that the last time you hope is called what is known biblically as second death.
Uh,
Yeah. It's the last moment that you ever hope that love is or that there is you know what I mean like no what you just said hope it's interesting that we don't have to necessarily articulate what hope is
mm.
because we all know what it is that we hope that which are better spirits in men and like angels or angels are going to win out or even if they don't that that which is the Holy Spirit, like, will write. And that's why I'm not going to feel sad here because I believe that that thing that made the universe and made babies, right? That IQ, I believe that that is love and it's an eternal spirit and it has a consciousness like you or me, except it's power itself. Uh,
Well, love is creative. What they're doing is destruction.
Thank you. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
So,
they're
you know,
afraid as a
yes,
way of life, like the beast.
they are destroying themselves, their own souls. They're trying to destroy us, and they're doing a pretty good job of it in some cases. So
it's more
but
than it feels like more than just wanting to
yeah,
make sure that they've got storehouses that are full for themselves and their children. It's more than that. It sounds like that they're infected by a spirit of destruction.
they are. Yeah, they are.
And it is, man.
Unfortunately, and they'll like we see them turn on each other.
Yeah,
They turn on each other in the end. It's it's the nature of the beast, unfortunately.
it is. It's
Um,
exactly what it is.
you know, because they follow that left-hand path of
Hmm.
evil. Uh, they they always turn on each other because
Looking for
they
that
always want
friction,
the better.
that heavy drama
Do
with
do you
another
think that
creature.
do you think Kim Jong Un there? Do you think he doesn't want the world just to be populated with Chinese people? You
That,
know,
that's a very
you know. Do you
that's
think
a
you think these other leaders? Do you think they don't want the world just populated with their own people and nobody else? You know,
It's
like come
weird
on.
because I don't feel that way. I love looking at
I don't
everybody.
either.
I
I
love
don't
looking.
either.
I know you do. I know,
It's
like because you understand the value of culture
yeah.
and
No, they're very short-sighted as well.
I didn't want to say it out loud because it was so rude. So I was sitting here
No, it's true. It
looking
is
for a way
true.
to say it, looking for a way to say it to put it
I
into
don't know if
words.
there's so much like skin color,
We're
but more
called
bloodlines.
prejudice. They call us prejudice, white males, but I believe in multiculturalism because
I
I
do
believe
as
that's the
well.
only way that we can sustain and maintain our race as it is. I think we're going to evolve anyways, but I don't think that has anything to do with you know what people think. So
I
uh,
like it that people that
we
wanted to come. Yeah, sorry. What?
we need all these different people.
Yes.
We need them.
My
You
town
know.
is multicultural. There are different people
Yeah.
here. Like there are people that are running the Pizza Hut or the Domino's Pizza really well. They're Indian. Now, it seems to be something, and I don't. If people want to say this is racist, it's like yes, it's very much so. I said it appears that the Indian people really have a good grasp of running the pizza business, and I think that's possibly because some of them have done it successfully. Just more people who happen to be of that motivated because of when they came here. So because of immigration patterns,
Yeah.
that and
Yeah.
they
We have
saw
a
the
great.
opportunity to make pizza and they got the math down.
We have a good Indian taco place
Yeah,
around here. You know.
exactly. But because of that, it makes it hard to be what other people describe as racist, especially when you know
Yeah,
what I mean. When
I
people
don't
in
know
your
about that. I
community,
think
it's like, oh, you mean it's like, well, I don't look at him as a race. It's him. It's a person. It's a human being with a name.
Yeah.
His
That's
family's around the corner. You know what I mean? I listen to
yeah.
his children play. It's part of my day. It's part of my vibe and my aura. That he, as well as aura, is nice. When I go to my druggists, they're the same. Like
Yeah.
from India, whichever. Now I know there's so many different types over there. They're probably much different than the other. But to me, all I know is that they
Hi,
enjoy
Monica.
the job they do. They like it that they can become prosperous
Yeah.
and that they're not killing themselves at. He's like, I like being the pharmacist guy. Come to my pharmacy. I'll treat you
Yeah.
good. I'll treat you better than the other people. And he's right. He did. Like, I don't have any problems ever at this pharmacy.
Followed by a moonshine.
They're really good people.
Yeah.
Except the
Yeah.
thing is, they have a lot of like they people in my town that I've grown up in. They hire the kids from here. Like they hire the local. You know what I mean? They're hiring people in this town. They're helping this town's
Oh,
lifeblood. They're part
maybe.
of it. There's there's no separation of the town and them and their ethnicity. It's
Mhm.
part of the town. And that's great. Like same with the Dutch farmer, same with the Scottish farmer. It's a nice place to be. I think when you appreciate all that and like it's that the thing with destroying all like you know what I mean or whatever like of wanting to
Yeah.
be the same or even needing to be. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think people tend to be nice, like a nice Pakistani Hindu Buddhist, or you can be a piece of shit
Yeah.
Hindu,
So
like
how do we stop the Israelis and the
that little strip of land there
you
that the
know,
Palestinians have.
Palestinians from fighting. Like, how do we do that? You know, I would like to know.
Confuse their language.
There we go. What do you
So
think,
I
Nina?
guess it all comes down to bloodlines. Okay, going back to
See,
what you
right.
guys were
Oh,
saying, it's
brilliant.
not so
Thank you.
much
Oh, I love it.
racist as it
Yeah,
is bloodlines, right? The elite are all about the bloodline and keeping
yeah,
the
That's right.
bloodline,
It's
right?
tribal and bloodlines. I was trying to
yeah,
type it earlier.
Yeah.
No, I
yeah.
love
They
it
So
can
when
change
people say
that's why
religions. They
that's
can
like
change
that.
countries. They don't care about countries or religions as
no,
Now
long as
I've
the
noticed, like going back to what you're talking about, the East Indian
it's
family
Jack
with the
Straws
restaurants.
with
I've noticed
bloodlines.
that every single restaurant around in my town here, every single person that works there is brown.
In the
And
service
so
industry.
I think if you're talking about racism here, I think that these people they get in there, they only hire their own. They will not hire a white person.
Okay, that's
So the
true.
racism has gone the other way. It's the white person that's the minority now. We are the minority now. They won't hire us, unless you are exactly what they are. They won't hire you,
that's
and I find
possible.
it
Yeah,
very rude.
reverse.
A lot of these different, like even getting your nails done. You go into the nail salon, every single person is Vietnam. You won't find a white person in the nail salon. You just won't. They're all themselves. They'll only hire their own. And they also refuse to speak English. So you're sitting there as a customer, and they're talking about you between themselves in their own language. They don't give a f about you and how you feel about it. So I don't know about the whole racism. Like racism is flipped upside down now. We are the one that's
I
being.
think nail salons have always been like that, and you can always refer to the variety store
Can you
Indian. You
imagine
know,
if I did that? If
remember
I
they took
opened
away
up
a poo.
someplace and
They took
No,
only
away a
that's what
poo
I
hired
from
mean.
us.
In
Norwegians?
town, that's what I mean. In town, they came and they worked very hard at the variety store until all of a sudden, like years later, you realize, God damn, they run the shit out of that thing like really good. Like they've always been really good at it, and the store's improved, and then it got the pumps, like
The
the
Simpsons got rid of a poo, right?
it's
Because he was a
always gone
racist
up. And then the rest of their
character.
family came over, and I don't know what the hell their kids are doing, but I hope they're doing well because they're, you know what I mean. They went to school locally, and I mean they.
Can you imagine though if I have done that? If I had gone in and opened up something, a Norwegian something, and
Right,
only
and only
hired
hired
Norwegians,
right.
and would refuse to speak English, so we're all just talking amongst ourselves here in Norwegian. Can you imagine if I'd done that? How the uproar in the community would have been, But yeah, that's completely acceptable everywhere else. Any other nation, any other, as long as you're not white and you're not, particular Scandinavian, because that's very frowned upon. Like we've been gaslit big time since the wartime, right? So, anyways, that's not what this is
Oh
about.
yeah. Well, sure it is. I'm, oh my fucking god! Who are these people? This is Morgan and
I got a lot of different opinions
Nina.
about things.
I just had to put that
Oh,
up.
dear.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I love the off the cuff comments.
Oh yeah.
Russian American company. It has double-headed eagle. Yeah.
So I guess
yeah.
so far so good with the whole Friday 13th. Nothing has happened since, because we've been talking, what, 2 hours now?
Yeah.
The double
Nothing's happened up
stabbing
there?
in France. I haven't blown up. I haven't blown up, so I'm okay.
I know. Okay. My friend Smurf says nothing ever happens, and then she goes, and then I like she's really cute, but I mean she could smack you if she would everybody to go. Nothing ever happens. It's like I understand that the money goes up that everything costs, and that is something that certainly has happened, right? The money has gone up and everything, but as far as other stuff, other than like the lockdown thing, and it depended on where you were when you'd walk into the Walmart, whether you'd just be able to go, I got my thing, and no, we're cool, or whether they were bitches about
Well,
it.
yeah, you have to think that, or you're projecting it and causing it to happen.
Exactly, and that's really what I felt was bringing the most stress to people wherever they were, was how they were being felt treated in the community about adherence or not to the thing, considering that.
No, there's other entities out there that are creating their own reality that it kind of interacts with ours, and not in a good way. So yeah,
Yes.
I'm not. I
It's a
didn't
liberal
create.
idea.
I did not create the WEF. I did not create Klaus Schwab. In my reality, those people wouldn't have existed at all. Sorry, I just didn't do it, dude. And I don't think you did it either. So
No.
they did it on their
No.
own.
Like,
Yeah, no, I
oh,
don't believe that. I don't believe in self-blaming. That's part of that's one thing that has been infiltrated as well, and people don't realize it as much as it actually has happened. Is the spiritualist community has been infiltrated as well with disinformation, with people that divide, and people that are out there to deceive you.
what's
Unfortunately,
up with God never letting more than, like, that thing about never getting more than you can handle, though, right? It's been true, man. Like, even with, like, overdoses or whatever, it's like, no matter what, I have always been able to come right back to a sound mind. And,
well, you're lucky. There are many that do not.
oh,
So
Max,
yes,
exactly. And that would fit with what the ancient scriptures that I read and
yeah,
absorb and try to osmosis into my very soul, right? And it says that in it.
yeah.
It says very few are gonna understand this, and I feel that there's certain things in the book that when I read them, as far as, the part about actually, like okay, even the red letter stuff, most Christians and pastors don't even preach what he says, what the
Mm,
guy Jesus says in the red letters, Max.
I
And
know.
I know I sound like a kid about it, because I don't, because I take, hopefully I've been working daily in meditating and prayer, with fasting, getting rid of the hate and the anger, because I'm just sick of it, and I realize that it's myself that's doing it, and nobody's got a gun to my head saying, Morgan, keep the hate. Nobody. And so I'm releasing some of the hate, because I've got too much of my RAM. You know what I mean? If I was just filled with anger and things, like, as opposed to actually doing something, or I want to become more creative, and I see more room for that. I think I could be more productive
Yeah,
creatively, and not that I have to be. You know what I mean? I don't feel any pressure to be. I just would like to be,
yeah,
especially now that I feel as though I don't want to just create a darkness to show people, so that they'll go, oh, what do I do? Oh, well, I have an answer to that. I'd rather show people part of the beauty that I'm speaking of, maybe as well with a warning. You know what I mean? Like, and it would be half and half or whatever. But I'd like to make art that speaks, like a painting that has 1,000 words. Like
yeah,
a picture that speaks 1,000 words. I'd like to do that, but I'd also like to write the 1,000 words. You
yeah.
know, um,
Well, get your voice out there as much as you can, man.
I do.
That's
I
all I
try.
can
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Yeah,
You help with that all the time. It's great. It's great.
yeah. I would suggest people turn their money into commodities or goods, food and stuff, very soon. It does look like we are headed for a really rough time, and the monetary system is probably about to go crap
And
if
what do
they
we turn
drag
our
us to
debt
war.
into?
Right?
And
Yeah,
even if it's just for inflation value itself, the
yeah.
food is
Even
not going to be going down, right?
yeah, I bought
You're going to need it.
several gallons of honey, and they've gone up 50%.
Yeah, so go and
So
get your flour and all your
yeah,
necessities, right? You're going to need it.
yeah.
I
If
know
you
I've
get
started
flour,
baking
you
now.
can keep flour for years as long as you put it in a plastic bag and seal it. So you can put it in a
Yeah,
garbage bag and duct tape around it, another garbage bag. I would suggest you layer it about 3 or 4 times, and you can save that for up to a couple of years. It'll still
I
be
did
good.
that with some of my flour too. Yeah,
It'll start
plastic bag
going.
inside an airtight
Even
container.
when it starts to go, it's still edible. It just doesn't taste
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I did that too. And then I did some Mylar bags, I
Yeah,
did a little bit of different ways of doing it just in case one way doesn't work out. Well, I have, stashed
yeah,
some somewhere else too. But yeah, your flour, your sugar, all the things that you're going to need.
yeah. Things you
And with the
use.
prices going up now, who can afford to go and buy already made? So I'm making my own bread now. I'm starting to just making my own food. Mind you, I have the time now to do it too. But it
Yeah,
makes a difference.
it does. What's that?
So yeah, and then you got the case lot sales. Whenever those come up at Save On or whatever,
Oh
that's a
yeah,
good way of stacking. When it's already in a case, already like plastic shrink wrap kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a easier way of stacking up, you know, and stashing. Like I got
The,
stuff stashed all over the
the
place.
stores mark down stuff that's going near out of date, except it's also good high quality in Canada. Like, I find in our town that it's honest. Like when they're like, and then, so I mean, everything gets down until a single person like myself, if I time it right, I can go to the store and pick up things when they're 75% off. Like, most of the items.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, if I do that, now some people actually have a store in their town that's like that they can actually just go to. There's
Yeah,
called Food
pasta will keep for a long time. You know,
Yeah,
some
I've got
canned goods.
yeah, exactly, tuna and stuff like that. I've got
Yeah,
I've got
Well, even
that
the
for
meat,
days.
like you said, that's already like it's gonna expire today, kind of thing. You can get it like 30% off or whatever. Grab that and then throw it in the freezer.
yeah,
You don't have to eat it that day if you don't, or grab a few of them, whatever, and you just freeze it and then you have it, right? So yeah, there's ways of saving money that way
yeah.
if you don't mind,
Our power is
waiting.
always going out here for a couple hours every other week
Oh yeah.
in the early mornings. Yes, in the building, and
Well,
it's insane.
supposed to go for climate lockdowns in Canada, so that'll
Like it was
include power outages, right?
Yeah, it was
Because we're
weird. It was
saving the
twice, and
climate.
it was all over town too. Like someone told me, like because I thought, is it the building? And then I went in the hallway, and Buddy said, no, it's all the way to the across town. And I was like, okay
Well,
then.
we're
But
talking about when there is no economy, Marlena. You'll still have a bar and hopefully some booze, so you can sell that and get stuff. But uh, we're talking of a point where the economy's pretty much gone. Dollar's worth nothing, because it's headed
Yeah,
that way.
then get tradables, things that people are going to need, right?
Yeah, if you got your money in the bank invested, it's probably going to take a tank pretty soon.
It's going to be gone. I'm not saying to people to go into debt, but
It's much great.
I'm hoping that the debt's going to be gone, so, and everything is just going to be gone to zero though. So
the
if you have a lot of money, that's not going
In,
to be good for you. But if you have a lot of debt,
if
oh, that
nobody
might be
has
gone.
if nobody has the money to pay for rent,
if
right?
you're in debt, there's debt consolidation in the states and Canada. Go for that. It's oftentimes they end up you pay about a tenth of what you owe, and they do it over time, smaller payments. So any of you in debt, go for
Yeah.
debt consolidation right now. It will destroy your credit, but you can build it back up in about 2 years if that's the problem. If that's a
Is that the
problem
same
for
as
you.
bankruptcy?
No, no, it's not the same as bankruptcy.
Well, what's the difference then
It's
between?
In
consolidating
bankruptcy,
everything
they
into
can
one
come and take
payment.
your shit. What this is it's debt consolidation. They take all your debts and they threaten them with bankruptcy, right? So,
To do one threatener. Like it's like can we get this down to one bully?
right, so they threaten them with bankruptcy, and they say, "Well, we'll offer you a tenth of the money, and we'll pay it off
Yeah.
right now, or they'll go into bankruptcy, and you can try and spend the time to sell their shit and get your money back. Take your pick." And they usually go for the consolidation.
What if you have
Yeah.
nothing to sell?
Well, that's the point, right? Right. But they don't even do that with debt consolidation. That's not a part of it. It's just what your bills are, how much money you bring in, and how much you owe. Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
Yeah.
having to look into this now because
Yeah,
people are living off their
but
credit cards.
yeah, it'll get rid of.
Because they'll buy your debt too, and they'll say, how much percentage could we get off this? And it's like, even if we consolidate these, we still made our quota with this many people or whatever, by collecting something off the
Yeah,
debt.
consolidation
Um,
is often worth more to them than bankruptcy. That's why they go for it.
because now you're sitting there with a new
Because
thing.
even most people
Of,
say you have a house,
and now you can fractionalize
right?
that
If you
amount.
even have a house, they're not going to sell it at market price. They're going to sell it at about 30
No,
to half of
right,
market
because they
price.
want to
So
fractionalize
they're
the
not
debt.
going to be able to
Right.
get the money back, any other way other than to do consolidation. It's just the best route.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the money's spent,
Yeah. So
and the money that they created from the debt,
yeah,
it's gone
yeah.
too. So we might as well just get some of the something off the principal and bring down the equity.
Yeah.
Or
Well, it makes it into a loan, right? And then you just pay the loan off.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So it's
Yes. Give it back. Yes,
yeah,
exactly,
but it
exactly.
does
And
take the credit down. But you can build that up in a couple years because you can still get a credit card after that. It's not like bankruptcy. It's different.
yeah, oh no, they want to give you one. You can get a yeah.
You can
It's
always do a secured credit card.
a secured credit
Yeah,
line,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, a
No,
secure
I know people who have done it, and 6 months later they had a credit card for $300.
Yeah, just prove that you
They
can.
wanted
Yeah,
one for
You know?
300, but the bank gave them one for 1,000. Now they're
yeah.
trying to up it again. So they don't really care. It's not really money anyways, and they know that.
Mm-hmm.
So you know they're just creating more fake money, which is good on their balance sheet, which is good for their paycheck. That's all they really care about. That's why they're offering more credit cards.
Yeah.
Right away. So it's
Yeah.
really nothing.
I've saved myself a lot of sorrow by not trying to have a vehicle on the road. But at the same time, I I guess I've been limited. I'm gonna just smile at that because I've never really thought about it, man. I'm just thankful that I've always been able to smoke a doobie when I wanted to. And I remember I chose to do that as opposed to get my license. I got my license, but I just mean I didn't go out and buy a car and then choose to maintain it
Yeah,
because I knew that that would be my weed money, like right out the door. So I always told myself, you know what? If you got to walk somewhere, you can. The deal is, Morgan, I will get you high,
and you can walk there.
and you, yeah. So I mean,
We all have
really,
priorities.
dude,
Yeah.
There you go.
what do you want to be about? And I was like, I'd rather be high, and
And fit.
and
Well, I see
and
most
fit
people who are
exactly.
retired, they can't
Yeah,
afford to
I
have a
don't have a
car all the
car. I don't drive a car either. That was kind of a choice.
It is a lot of money, although
Yeah,
I gotta say insurance has gone down actually.
yeah,
That's one thing, but you also get no compensation anymore now. So they took that away. That used to be like, guaranteed, 10 grand for sure if you got rear-ended or something, but that's gone now. So
yeah,
there's no more soft injury compensation on any of that shit. So, but they lowered then the rate. So it's a little bit cheaper. And then if you don't drive much,
yeah,
you bring in, show them how many miles you got. If you go under a certain amount, I'm not sure what the number is, but if you're under, and I'm always under because I don't go out that
yeah,
much. So I got another 150 off, and stuff. So it's not, so it's not too bad. But yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely, I can see as I'm retiring now and whatever, it's like, the insurance is one thing. Then the gas, once it's up to, two something, it's like, really? Like, that's why I don't go out. I'd rather walk than
Yeah.
drive. I only use it when I have to.
Well, you're gonna be
Um,
healthier
Oh,
too.
and then maintenance. People don't think of that. All of a sudden something breaks down. Oh shit! Well, that's a few $100s. Well,
A
when you're on a
hundred.
fixed income, you ain't got that.
It was about $1,000 every time we broke down.
Yeah.
can
What
you
are you
guys see
showing
the
us
bee
there?
sting?
No.
No, not really.
Okay, just wondering,
Is it
like
on
it's
your
not really even
knuckle?
swelled that much.
No.
All right.
No. Okay.
I
See
was at
knuckles, but
Yeah.
I have bees like outside. I've had them for years. But then the guys were doing caulking around the doors or whatever, and then around some other thing that I was supposed to. They gave me a notice that they needed something moved or whatever. I was talking to the guys. They were like, "No, we don't
Right.
need to move that at all, guys." Anyway, um, I was moving the thing for them in my thing here so they could stand around and do the thing. And I kicked the thing with the bees in it, right? And I forgot that the bees were there. And all of a sudden, a couple come out, then more come out, and like I got stung a bunch of times on my hand. I didn't mind because they're my bees, and it's only late. It's mid October bees, so they're mellow or whatever, right? Um, it still hurts a little bit, but it's fun. You know what I mean? Because it's natural, and it's like it feels like it might be like a beauty aid. I don't know, but you
It's
feel
good
like
for you, actually. It's good for your immune system.
okay, that's what I thought. I feel like
Yeah.
I just got a natural vax, and then
Yeah,
I
it's
was
good
all
for
like,
arthritis and
I was
other
really
things like
joyous
that.
about it, and I thought that too, Max. I was like, the
Good
fact
for
that
your
it's kind of,
joints and stuff.
I thought about that. I thought, you know what? I bet people would pay to have these
They
bee
do.
stings. I thought that is a therapy, exactly,
Yes.
Max. And
They
that's when I thought, well,
do.
just enjoy it for free then. And I
Yeah.
did. I said, this probably costs money, and I just, you know what I mean? And I enjoyed it,
Yeah, you got
right?
it for free. You got it for free.
No, but that's what I thought because it gives you a bit of a tingle that feels like honey, but like a sting, right? But it's not a bad sting.
Yeah.
It's not a bad sting at all. Like it's like never at any time did I think, oh no, that's gonna like I'm gonna. And the thing was, that's how come I
Yeah.
kicked. I wanted to make sure I told the guys, hey guys, if either one of you guys is allergic here, right? And they were like, that's good that you warned us, man, but no, we're not. But thanks for looking out. You know what I mean? And that's like, so they were like, you don't need to move your whatever, cause, and they like cocked around it or whatever, like my a thing that I was gonna have to.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was really cool
Well,
because
there
I
you go.
felt
You
like
got
I
that for free. There you go. You could start
yeah.
up a business, bee sting therapy. That could be
Well,
your
no,
after apocalypse or after Armageddon business. Start up
To
some.
I
sting or
think the
not to
bees
sting?
took up to
Yeah.
protect me or whatever, or because they noticed my aura or whatever. And I think that's why the bees, because I've had like squirrels, baby squirrels, and different things on the porch
Oh
at
my
different
God.
times. And
Well,
those bees are,
let's get some prayers for. Sorry to interrupt your bee story. Marlena's boyfriend had a problem with the surgery he was having on his heart. Had to stop, so let's pray for his health. So Marlena's hubby, that's his name.
Aw.
Let's pray for him. Send him your good intentions and healing. We'll give that a moment. Have a moment of silence for that. Just concentrate on his heart. Give him strength. There you go. You're welcome, Marlena. Is Steve-O here? Oh, his name's Steve. Okay. His name is Steve. Thank you, Marlene. Well, good health and long life to Steve. Hopefully we helped you get through this.
I listened to my own heart beating and thought of sending the energy and to keep the heart valve and everything open and everything clear and beating like with every pulse.
Well,
Boom,
that's
boom.
good. I sent an energy wave to go around it and keep it protected. So that's
Yeah,
good.
from what I've read about the studies that they've done with the long distance thing, where it specifically works, right? Where they're like, all right, we'd like a group of people over here praying for this person over here, and like they're the part of their body while they're going through the operation, and every single time it's worked, every
Yep.
time, and it's like, why
Yep.
wouldn't it?
Of course. Why wouldn't it? It does.
You know, it's like and oh, the meaning and also the technique is to physically think about
Yeah.
the aura, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
the thing, and physically think about the layers of the skin and everything multiplying on exactly what it is. It's
Yep.
like
You can
go ahead
layer it
and do
up in your
the
mind
actual
and
task,
yep.
the physical thing that you want. If you want a valve cleared, think of the valve clear and
Hmm.
you know what I mean, if you can, the sound, like focus on something, and then like that's what I mean, and that's how come I knew if I could get my ears, because I realized I can hear my heartbeat within my own veins sometimes. You know what I mean? And so I was able to do that, and then thought of that, and then pumping. Once I got a hold of that, I knew that I'd be able to get a hold of well his system or whatever you
Yeah.
the cloud,
Cool.
and then you can affect where it is that you want to affect by intention. And that's the thing. When people are wondering how are they, well, it's actually intent. Like like they're praying, and that is the power of intention. People say, yeah, the power of prayer, and I don't really know what the difference is. If you're speaking literal English, because if you're speaking to someone that doesn't know the language too well, they're not. Intent and prayer are the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I have a little bit of time left. I should go. I have to get ready for class, so I've got some things to prepare. This was awesome. Thank you for showing up, guys.
This was great. Thank you for letting me talk so much.
Yeah.
No problem. And we'll see you next time. I'm just doing these pop-up shows now because we just got to continue to put out the energy and the word, and hopefully it'll help. And I'm glad that Marlena showed up to tell us about Steve. I hope he's doing well. Okay, guys, get ready for class in 45 minutes. We'll see you then. I might make a pop into Andromeda 7 over there, see what they're up to. But we'll see you then. Oh, there's Freedom Grower. Dude, I'm just about out of here. How's it going?
Oh.
Let's see.
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, hey, Freedom Grower.
Hello. Hey, can you hear me? Test.
How you doing?
Literally great jammer.
I'm doing great. Did you like that?
I did, man. When you had it going on with, and then all of a sudden, I even made a short, and I put it in on my site, right? Like I made a clip of a minute of it, except I made a clip of it before you were doing two things at once.
Nice. I got derailed by that.
Later, I was like, "Oh wow, he's gotten really good," and
I'm getting
so
better at tying those scales together, huh? Like I'm starting to finally connect some dots and figure it out.
Oh wow, dude! Oh yeah.
I've been at it for 3 years now, just fucking woodshedding, trying to, get better at it, and it's finally, you start having breakthroughs, and it's kind of cool, but. It got frustrating there for a bit.
My cat particularly likes it when you play jazz. So if you could play more jazz, it would make my life a lot easier.
I like jazz better too. I feel like people don't like jazz these days, but
no, you do a rockin' version of it. You got a little bit of a twang in there.
Thanks, Max.
You do it really well. I love it.
Yeah, I was having a good jam today. I got triggered by that little bitch dude, but aside from that,
I forgot. I came back to that. I was riding on a trip out of your thing or whatever, and recording that short, trying to get a minute that I prefer to what you were doing. And then when I came back, like I said, you had that part cycling, and then we're playing over top of it, right?
I love doing that. Yep.
Okay, looping. Man. When you I've longed to be able to do that in different ways, and I've accepted. Except no, I didn't have to accept it. So I did it with my voice. And that's what I've done, man. So that when I'm playing, right, the thing that I want to do, right, so it's not like I want to be able to layer it like what you do. But the thing is, you do that. I realize that I can do that layering if when I'm playing the guitar, I do a thing, and then I can solo with my mouth. Like, you know what I mean, with my voice. And then... And it does come off as pretty good. In fact,
this kind of thing, right?
That's why people dig me or whatever. Like
we're into it now.
Morgan's gonna start doing the Scooby.
You got 2 minutes to jam it out.
I do it.
Yeah, I didn't want to hold you up. I knew you were cutting out. I just was gonna say hi.
I was gonna get you a room and pass on the stream, but there's no way to do that here.
I can't be on here too long anyway. I haven't done the restream thing though. This is different than StreamYard, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. It's very similar. It's slower and chunkier though, but my microphone works better on it. I was having trouble with StreamYard, so I changed it, right? I had it in to check. It was perfect. My chords are fine. So yeah, I changed program and my voice cleared up. The only problem is when I play stuff, my voice will crack, so I have to just not talk when I'm playing little videos or things.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Well, I think StreamYard's probably part of the Beast system at this point, so.
Yeah, I think it's
Probably
got
not bad to ditch 'em.
into the board. Yeah, most of them have. I didn't even get on to Rockpin or Reddit or any of those other ones. There's one of them I'm missing, and it's huge. I'm not even on it. The only one so far that's held up is Odyssey. They still post any crap any idiot puts on up there. So, I'm
I
sticking
relate to Morgan with the music, though. I just get lost in it like he does. It's you start feeling a groove, and you can just kind of get tunnel vision on it. You know, where like you just want to explore that wherever that kind of groove can go.
Make sure to send me Nina's new channel. Play it out, Morgan. Much love to you all. Keep that third eye open. Use your intelligence and your intuition. And we'll see you in
Have
class.
a great evening. Good to see you.
Bye-bye, guys.